Oh, I looked very reflective. That's what was on the card that I pulled for today, for tomorrow. Um, yeah, my hair is frizzy as fuck. My eyes are not itchy as fuck anymore, thank God. But oh my God, I looked very whoops. Yeah, because of where Roslyn, I was going to say castle, because of where Roslyn Chapel is, like where it, like when I was walking back, which it's not even funny. I tell you, astrology is. I'm talking myself right now, but obviously I know people watch it on the replay. Yeah, astrology is hilarious for how real it is. Like because there was kind of a bit of a death trap energy in my in my chart. Which yeah, I would say it's coming out of it now. But just when I thought about it, I thought, here's me sort of walking along a very busy road, and I tell you what, with how sensitive I am anyway, and then yeah, just with how sacred that felt really, with because I was literally yeah dragged there, kicking and screaming about, hello Ashley, long time no see, how are you doing? I emailed you back that time, by the way. I never heard from you. But I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're speaking up here. I'm good. I'm very sleepy. It just reminds me when I saw you. Because again, remember, guys, if you ever do email and I don't email you back, if it's been some like months or weeks, or weeks might not even be that unusual. But again, definitely, if I haven't got back to you in like a week or 2 weeks, let me know. Because like I said, I did actually find somebody's email from 6 weeks ago. But when that happens, you see, they're protecting me because I was very overwhelmed. Yeah, I sent it back. Oh, well, I'm glad I said that then, just in case you thought I never replied. Yeah, email, I wondered. I thought, oh, you're surprised I'm live. Why? Because of yesterday. Yeah, it's I'm very, very sleepy. And yeah, I won't again, I don't go into all of my shit, but like I'm very sleepy and I've had a bit of a stressful time, but it's under control. It's under control now, and yeah, I wanted to come on and just do it again. I feel guided to get a bit like I felt guided to go to Roslyn Chapel. I feel guided to be on and be here with you again because it's about discipline. Again, if I really didn't want to, I wouldn't, but yeah, we're here again. So it's my where the cancer is in my, we always say this, but where cancer is and Pisces for anyone makes you uber sensitive, but where it is for me, it makes me like 100 million times more sensitive, which is a beautiful thing. Again, around here we always say being sensitive is a beautiful gift. I wouldn't be able to do what I do if I wasn't so sensitive, but very sleepy energy. And yeah, but anyway, so hello Charlotte. And oh my God, there's 5 people watching already. It's always the random ones. Again, I know it's always random when I come on here, but maybe it's because I said I was going to be on. I gave you a bit of prior warning. Right, okay, well, there's a few people here then. So what I'm going to do though is I do want to make the Thursdays not so much all about the cards. So obviously I am going to read cards, right? But and if you're new here, everything that I do, you know, when it looks like I'm just having a wee chat, I'm channeling healing energy. So, yeah, I really just want to you know, not staying, just popping on to say thanks in person. Well, as in person as we can get on here. But you're very welcome, and thank you as well for praying. So anyone that saw the post in the community tab, by the way, check the community tab, guys, right? If you're watching, I can guys. I fucking trigger and annoy myself, and I'm like, guys. But yeah, check the community tab because yeah, I'll often put important things there. You never know, like I might get something really specific that is for you. So always check there. But yeah, I am just now and again, I'm guided to do like, you know, just to get people just to stop and remind you to pray. Or like, you know, I've seen that thing, I see that car all the time. I think I posted it years ago as well. That thing, because it was just funny when I walked past it and it, you know, it just pulled my eyes just home in on it. And it's like, not everything sucks. And I needed it at that point. So I shared it for everyone as well. And can I just say, it's not like, again, I don't want to go into, again, I'm very, again, it is hilarious when I say that. I'm very private. I'm sitting on fucking YouTube, fucking tell my life story. Like I would say, it's like the fucking audiobook. But yeah, when I'm saying I've got stuff going on, it isn't me directly, although fucking who hasn't? Do you know what I mean? But it was just somebody. It was somebody else in my life that I was worried about. So just, you know, just so that we're clear here. But again, it doesn't matter. If it was me, that's fine. But to be honest, if it was me and it was that bad, I wouldn't even fucking be on here. So anyway, but yeah, I've got those cards that I've been using for the mini healings, which today was all a bit of a rush. So today's didn't happen, but I'm doing it here. And I've got the Lightworker Oracle as well. And I always usually pull quite a significant or important card out from that deck. And can I just say as well, it is interesting because when I just checked the astrology there, it's not quite hitting it's not quite hitting a big part of my chart. But I remember saying when I was live on Tuesday, I bet you I'm going to say something like quite significant or something. Again, and if you're new, I'll be guided to say something that is of importance. So I don't know whether that's just like for someone in particular or whether it's like, it could even be like a world thing. But yeah, there's every chance of that. Definitely, if I'm on here a couple of hours, 100%. Basically what I'm saying is, let's pay attention to what comes out my mouth tonight, because it could be really quite important. And actually, for those of you that know me well, see when I'm like really sleepy like this, and again I can't see this heat. See what I mean? This is actually really funny. Sorry. It's like I'm actually channeling the shadow energy of Cancer energy, because I'm moaning, and like Cancer season this to me, it is moaning. But it's everything I'm saying. It's sleepy. It's hashtag all the feels. But again, so let's do the light and the shadow. So the light is mothering, anything to do with mothers, anything to do with birth, I suppose, birthing things new. There's lots of new things coming out. Mothering yourself, mothering others, family, soul family. So again, I'm feeling really in my feels about family and the soul family. I'm really feeling that. Ancestors, I've got a card here that says ancestors that I pulled before I done the distance healing last night. That's why I'm knackered as well, you see. That energy that was coming in fucking knocked me out. And I can often have trouble sleeping. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do. But I was flat out spangled like in a nice way. And I slept right through. And I was going to do a separate pre-recorded, but I'll just do it now actually. I'll try and remember what came through in that healing. But the biggest thing, they've pulled me up to a rose now. The biggest thing that I could remember was like I called each person forward. So I knew who'd already donated, and I knew who'd said, I'll swing you that, I'll chuck you that tenner later kind of thing. And it doesn't matter anyway, because again, can I just be honest as well? See, when people say things to me, like not so much that, but when people say things to me, like, oh, I'm going to book soon, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, I take it with a pinch of salt, because I get people doing that all the time and it never happens. But okay, I know things can come up, but with things like that, it doesn't matter with group things, because they know. Do you know what I mean? So like, even if somebody said, oh, I want to be included, but then they never donated, it's like the guides are always watching. Do you know what I mean? So they already know. So that I really need to explain that for people that don't understand that, because I just always think about if you're really practically minded, you might think, but you've already done it, so how am I going to be able to benefit from it? But honestly, you do. Like I've heard people say before over the years, like in the past, that it's like after I've done it and they just felt like, oh shit, I missed it, I really wanted to do it. And then they donate the money and then they get this wave of calm. So it's really quite amazing. So again, it's just, it just fascinates me. So it's only if if you're interested. But no, I really did appreciate, like, it was good. Nick's had that's what I thought was funny. You'd watched the 2-hour one, and the healing at the end of that was powerful too. And again, I'm sorry, I really wanted to cut that and make it a separate video, because I thought that was actually really good, and it was short. And I shouldn't have deleted the video, and then it would have been separate on its own. But I kind of think it's funny when that happens. It's like a little hidden gem, and it's like the reward at the end of the 2-hour video, because a lot of people won't have the patience to watch it. A lot of you will as well. But no, it was. So you can, let me know your experiences of that, because again, when I was watching it back, I actually went into a really deep space myself. So it felt really powerful. I can't, because again, I can't actually, to be honest, I can't actually really remember now, but I feel it was an inner child. I think from memory, it was an inner child. Because can I just say that I channeled that? That's what's kind of nuts. Like, I channeled that. What day was it? Last Friday. So yeah, a week ago, last Friday. So, and then I only published it late last night. But time is an illusion. It doesn't matter. That's why I record things and I hold it back and I publish it. Like that other one I recorded 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, the one about the money that you liked that too, didn't you, next? But yeah, so again, I'm just stressing that for anybody that wants to get in on that energy. If you feel the call, just look at the community tab and it's in the post, because I definitely won't bother posting it anymore at the bottom of the videos and that. Do you know what I mean? Right. So you might find this bit a bit boring if you weren't signed up for the distance healing, but maybe not, because I feel we all need to hear this. But let me just see what Charlotte's saying. Last night, I felt like I had labour pains. Oh my God, it was horrendous. Thought I was going to pass out. Fine today, clean and stuff. Oh, 100%. Yeah, that definitely sounds like that. That sounds horrible. Yeah, sending you love for that. Right. So what, I was quite amazed, right? So before I done that healing last night, I just pulled 6 cards and I didn't record or anything. So again, you can just trust that I pulled them. Again, I really don't give a fuck. I mean, it's like, do you know what I mean? When you've been doing this long, the people that trust me. If you just come across me, I usually shuffle on camera, and I will shuffle the cards for after the healing to see that's probably what matters more, but they are kind of wow. So the first card I pulled, right, because I suppose I didn't really ask anything, but I suppose it would be like, what is it, what am I going to be healing here? But I'd already knew it was, I already knew it was Mary Magdalene and Jesus. Again, I heal with Mary Magdalene and Jesus all the time, and everything I do, because this is Twinflames, but it felt like extra. Do you know what I mean? And definitely the rose codes, and they just keep talking about the rose codes, and all the cards that came out in that video, again, a week ago, remember, were all about roses and stuff. So I pulled Brothers of the Rose. Now, can I just say, yeah, obviously, sorry, if you don't know this, that deck is called, what the fuck is it called? The Rose Oracle. It's just called the Rose Oracle or something, isn't it? So it has got the word rose on a lot of those cards, obviously, right? But that is 3 decks together. I've mixed 3 decks together. So that card coming out is quite amazing. But the 2 of them coming out felt very Twinflame, like crazy. And I just found it amazing that, like, yeah, I just found it amazing, basically. Right. So popping off for tea, we'll catch up. Or be back if you say, yeah, probably will. Let's just say, I probably will still be here. Again, I don't want to. Oh, what's the point in saying that? What's the point in saying it? I don't want to sit here for ages, but they want me to sit here for ages, and I don't mind because it's fun. So that's basically the point. But I would like to get off for Love Island in real time, actually, because I'm just going to have a bath, and then by the time I have a bath, I can fast forward adverts. Right? Okay. So. But we've got Brothers of the Rose. Now, this is my Divine Masculine card, 100%, because it's got Sacred Masculine on it as well. So Sacred Masculine, honour, protection, support. So what I got from that it was about bringing in that healing for Divine Masculine energies. And then I pulled Sisterhood of the Rose. So we've got Brothers of the Rose and Sisterhood of the Rose. And it's got Beauty, Devotion, Priestess, Mystic, Teacher. So again, it's, yeah, felt really, really magical. And then this one's quite amazing because I pulled this card the other day when I was doing the individual messages, which doesn't matter if it was for one of you because it's going to make sense to a lot of you. Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. And I've actually just realised the connection. the one I just published was about karmic completion. It had karma on it and DNA. And again, obviously that's to do as well with everything I do. It activates your DNA and the light codes and everything like that. And that comes in from the sun and the energies. And obviously with summer solstice, it was even more powerful, which is why I got led. Again, I know lots of you know this, but it's just for people who don't really get stuff like that. Again, because can I just be honest as well? It's a bit of an interesting one when I'm there too. And also it was a bit anxiety provoking for me because I do go places on my own and I don't, if you know what I mean. And to go somewhere like that on my own felt special and it felt sacred, especially when I was sitting praying for all of us. But I don't like it, as you know what I mean. I don't like it as well, is what I'm trying to say. So I was actually really proud of myself. And also, it would never have fucking happened if my dad hadn't saved the day, like I said, because I missed the bus literally by a couple of minutes, and it's like there's only 2 buses that go out there, and I was well, there are other buses. Oh, I'm not getting into that because that was hilarious. The bus ride on the way home nearly gave me a heart attack for several reasons. I was trying to go one way and I missed that one, so I had to go another way, and it was just like it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. Just yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably go into I probably will say something anyway. It's just never mind. I can say that's fine. It's what it was doing was the part of Edinburgh where we were it was just very, very close to it's like the magnets are getting closer. Do you know what I'm saying? That was the energy. And I was kind of like, and this magnet was trying to take a total other way to avoid going close to a magnet. Do you know what I mean? So, but it's okay. It's all fine. But what I'm saying is, if we could just, if you're kind of getting what I'm saying, that's, well, first of all, it's my guide's way of having a bit of a laugh. But I also think it's an energy thing as well. It's like, no, stop trying to go that way. We want you to go this way. So I find it, I could have done without it, but anyway, it's no harm done. Right, okay, so yeah, there's a huge karma completing here, karmic releasing, and don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? So again, that message has been coming out all the time too. Again, I feel like I've been saying that for the past 8 years. Like, who cares? Yeah, it's just the same message as Tuesday. There's a lot of gel haters out there for whatever reasons. Whether it's the kind of open enemies or hidden enemies. Again, if you want help with that, I can see it in your chart. Can be useful. Can prevent a lot of things, although I do feel a lot of things are destined, you're meant to live out karmic contracts and stuff. But yeah, basically just shine bright as fuck, and that's very apt because it's Leo moon and that's what Leo moon is about. So whatever your light is, shine it. And don't dim to fit in. Like don't hide your light. And then we've got the grandmothers, again, very Cancer season. Because that's what I started saying. So yeah, basically Cancer energy to me is, I always say on Cancer moon, cuddles, cuppas. Oh fuck, why do I always forget what I say? Cuppas, cuddles, cups of tea. Does that make sense? That's the same thing, cuppas and cups of tea. What did I say? It's because I just sort of say it and I did something like that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's cuddles, cups of tea, and keep them cozy. Maybe that's what I should say. But it's all the, you know what I mean? We want people around us that make us feel comforted, and we want food that makes us feel comforted, and we want situations, and we can hermit a wee bit more. We can go a wee bit more into ourselves. And I keep pulling cards about reflection and stuff like that. But yeah, it's ancestors and it's family and it's soul family. So remember your roots, perspective, trust the weavings. So a lot of healing coming in from the ancestors. And then the last one was leap. You go first, the universe will catch you. So that was the cards I pulled before the healing. And like I say, I can't, because I go on a shamanic journey to do that, if you don't know that. And I basically called everyone that was receiving the healing in a circle. And then I go into a bit of a trance myself. So yeah, the only thing that really sticks out of it, I just kept like asking on behalf of like the people receiving it, like, please help this person to forgive themselves, to forgive whoever they need to forgive in their lives, to be released from karmic contracts. And that's funny because I wasn't even registered. I was so sleepy. So I pulled those cards, not even thinking. So I wasn't even I didn't link it to the cards, if you know what I mean. I just laid them out, didn't even take a picture. And then I took a picture. Oh, fuck, that was weird too. And then when my niece was here earlier, like when I came in, the cards were like, they were knocked off the way I had them. And I was like, did you move them? And she was like, no, I didn't. I was like, no, I'm not giving you a row. I'm just like, but you sure you didn't walk past it and you didn't mean to? She's like, no. And I was like, no, like, so she didn't, because she would have just said. And they were like off the way I put them. So that was a bit weird. But again, shit like that happens quite a lot around here. But it was interesting because they were moved from where I put them, and like nobody else could have moved them. And like I say, she's got no reason to lie, because even I'm not really a bit, well, it's, again, obviously there are moments where you do have to, to give a kid a row in that, but it's not like I'm like pure. Well, again, I don't think I'm scary, but I'm assertive, haven't I? So it's like, I mean, I encourage her to eat I was trying to get her to eat the salad she was having on it. I thought, like, because I was on it, she was like, she'd just eat a tiny wee bit, but she makes me laugh. But yeah, anyway, so the cards moved. But yeah, the biggest bit that was lovely was the rose petals falling. So it was about self-forgiveness, self-acceptance. It felt all stuff about like self-worth and that. So it was just, the big thing was forgiveness. Forgiveness of self, forgiveness of others, and obviously forgiveness between twin flames. Yeah, right, okay. So what do we need to know after that healing? And then I'll get on to do the stuff for everyone else, because that fan feels like it's making fuck all difference. But I'm grateful. See what I did there? That's what I posted on the thing. I just keep thinking, if this is how hot June is, what are July and August going to be? Where's a cold country? I mean, Scotland is a cold country. Where's a cold country? Oh, and probably even the countries that are usually cold are probably going to be fucking, it's a fucking pole shift or flipping or whatever the fuck is going on. It's an engineered weather. It's not even real. Anyway. Right. What do we need to know about that healing? Anything at all after it's been and gone, so that's my favorite card in that whole deck. Warrior woman. If you weren't afraid, what would you do? So I feel that links into that last card before I done the healing about, you go first, leap of faith or whatever. It's like it was lifting fear. Oh yeah, because I do, it is coming back to a bit now. See if I close my eyes. It was like, I remember sort of saying something like, wherever it is this person feels held back, like release them from this. It was basically like releasing you from like karmic bonds and that as well. Like, and I don't, obviously that can be people, but I felt like even those of you that are just like held back by habits or something that you're, addictions, it's hard to explain. And like I say, I genuinely can't remember some of it because I go into I didn't want to come out of it actually. I had to get up, turn the light off and that's what I done, and I went back into a deep sleep. I didn't think I would, but I went back into a deep sleep. Right. What else do we need to know? Interesting. Come to me, attracting like a rose. Because yeah, if you don't know that, like, that's why I posted that thing there, because again, I'm going to go back one day as well, because it was like I really just went there to for the ley lines and soak up that energy, and I didn't could have made more of a day of it, but it's got the rose detail on the top of the chapel and that, so it was quite amazing. Attracting like a rose, receive abundance desires. So yeah, it's like if you weren't afraid, what would you do? And attracting, it's like it just felt like it was healing issues of feeling unworthy or whatever was blocking you, or wherever you're not forgiving yourself or others, because obviously that would be an issue for twin flames if both of you aren't forgiving yourself, or one of you isn't forgiving yourself. But I happen to feel it's like, you know, there'll be things lying dormant in you that you haven't acknowledged. So. Which is actually the 4th house in Cancer energy too. It's the lower part of the chart. Oh my God. And then that's just came out again. You go first, the universe will catch you. Yeah, so that's aimed at, I don't know if I'll pull any more. Maybe that one's sticking out. So I think out of 3 decks, that's them just backing me up when I said that about you go first, the universe will catch you. It feels like it's like, yeah, you do deserve this. You are worthy. Like, allow yourself to receive your desires. Which when that fits with twin flames, it's like that felt like I was saying that to divine masculines, like, you are good enough, you are worthy, forgive yourself to receive what it is you want. But for divine feminines, it's like, wherever you've got a fear of receiving, yeah, it's actually the same thing, wherever you've got a fear of receiving what you want as well. But yeah, you go first, the universe will catch you. And oh my God, I love it. You know what I mean? See, when I'm tired like this, they're just literally using me. They're using me as a mouthpiece, the reunion. Yeah. So that's why that's the last card. That was the card I went, oh, just pull this one that's sticking out. The reunion. Soul recognition, collaboration, partnership, friendship. And that does seem to have been coming up. Like, I'd really say like the last month, like, and whatever, you know, because obviously I didn't do, well, the thing is I did do videos the past few weeks and then I just didn't publish them until now. But you hadn't seen a bigger video up until recently, so you know, for at least 2 weeks. But it's kind of like what I can sort of remember from the ones that I've done, it just kept coming up from definitely from when I went through that clearing, which a lot of people are in now or just coming out of. Like when I was doing it where my face wasn't, it was just my hands, and I kept pulling cards about friendship and that, you know what I mean? It just, that's what this feels like. It's like getting some kind of friendship back before all the other stuff that twin flames do. So all right, so and then this is the thing that I keep saying, get grounded, empaths, oh my God, it's all the shit that, oh my God, it's literally all the shit that I've been saying. I don't know why I'm surprised, it's what happens all the time. Right, to these, right, okay. Get grounded, and that's, I'm sure I said that, I wrote it in the post. Get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitive, connect with nature. Now, obviously, that's what I said about, well, I was saying I'm very sensitive all the time, but definitely Cancer season. Again, who isn't? And that's why we need to mother ourselves, star mother. Oh, they're reminding me, yeah, also because, again, with everything that I do, I always bring in that Mother Mary, very unconditional love. Again, Mary Magdalene's unconditional love too. And if you watch my shamanic journeys, and definitely those of you that have watched them for years, you'll know that. But it's just these energies were like really, really present. And I did really feel at one point, it was like, yeah, it was a lot of Mother Mary energy flooding in. So again, but this is just a reminder for everyone. So ground your energy and mother yourself at this time. Like you may need to take time out to do that a bit more than usual. And then look, break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewrite in the future. Yeah. So again, it's just about being aware that Cancer season is about all this stuff, trauma, ancestral trauma, anything to do with family. For those of you that are just not feeling like you fit in anywhere, like finding your soul family, your soul tribe. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if over the next month the channel grows. Well, hopefully it grows a bit, but do you mean like grows like significantly because of that? Because of pulling people in. Right. Probably, oh, I read that bit. You know, I've been processing resentments I've long since held with my twin. So much shadow work. Very, very deep, Nathan. Yeah, it's not for the faint hearted. It's not for the faint hearted, all of this, is it? It's an interesting life. Right. So I want to, we ask. Right, let's see what is the dominant feeling or emotion, whatever comes up, what is the dominant set of guides or you know, what are divine feminines facing right now? When I say that again, I know everyone knows this that tunes in all the time, by the way, but I just always feel I need to stick at that for new people joining. It's if this doesn't resonate with you and you are divine feminine, I'm just not tuning into your collective. But I'd happen to feel majority of the time I do this, it's going to be people that are going to, a lot of people are going to resonate with it. It just might be people that don't talk. But yeah, in the 8 years or 6 years that I've been live streaming on various different platforms or whatever, it usually is all like I always think that well, I suppose that's different. It depends on the way I'm doing it. But like I always say, like sometimes even if you are like, nah, that's definitely not me, I'd always look a little deeper. Like it actually might not be you, but I personally always look a bit deeper. Whether it be me channeling a message and then when I watch it back, because I get a lot of stuff when I watch it back that are a miss or I see connections that I didn't pick up on when I'm doing it. Or like if I catch anyone else or that, I'm kind of like, if it triggers me, I'm like, right, wait a minute, is that true? And you should always do that, but don't be like, oh, that must be true and I'm not accepting it. It might not be that. So again, that's about as clear as mud, but again, whatever. Unconditional love for me and how tired I am. Right, I need some water actually. Water. And can I just say, some of you have been mentioning that in the comments, like, just getting the vibe that things are a bit crazy. It's always like that, solstice. Think back. Equinox, that one's crazy. The spring equinox is always fucking crazy. People arguing shit like that usually. I bet you had an argument with someone. I know I did. Like several, I think. But it's kind of like, it's because if you didn't argue, there would have been like people pissing you off, and it's because like it's Aries season, but also it's just I think it's loads of things. The spring equinox is like you're coming out of winter into spring. It's like you're coming out of the dark into the light, but some people aren't ready to come into the light. And also definitely this year, most people weren't ready to come into the light. Come into the light, Caroline. That's a horrible film, isn't it? I've not seen that since I was wee and I don't have any desire to see it ever again. But why did I just channel that? That's creepy as fuck. Why the hell did I just channel poltergeist? But they're pulling me into the word joy. So the weird way that I'm bringing through this message, I feel it is like people are being pulled to the light where they've been in the dark. So where they've been in the darkness of the dark night of soul, they're being pulled out of that. So this could be anyone in your life at all that you've noticed that is in that place. So look out for that around you. Or again, this could be you. Yeah, I didn't get onto that. Oh yeah. And then obviously, and then the winter solstice, the one in December, always a bit rocky, but it's the spring one that I always notice is a fucker. So that is around the 21st of March usually. But the whole week leading up to that is usually pretty intense. And I remember it being very intense. And I remember it being Mercury, I think it was Mercury in Sag. And that it's pretty fiery as well. And or maybe it was I don't know about that, but I think that was it though. Maybe it was Mercury Aries. It was something like that. It was in a fire set. I just remember. Right, I remember. So maybe somebody remembers. And yeah, whatever. What other one? Yeah, the autumn equinox. Yeah, all of them are always crazy. The week before, and then I feel the few days after it, you just need to let the energy settle a little bit. That's why I'm not being guided to do live Zoom sessions with anyone. Not that there's a huge rush, but I'm just saying that until around the 3rd or the 4th of July there. Like the 4th of July. Because baby, that's my favorite. I really can't sing that at all. That's my favorite, and I can't sing it. Baby, you're a firework. And that's about like, not dimming your light to fit in either. I always find it very empowering. I don't listen to that as much as I should as well. It always just finds me serendipitously. Usually makes me cry as well because it always comes on like right when I need to hear it. I have that with songs all the time though, but not like personal to me. You know, I'll often hear them for other people, but I hear it for myself too. But it always sort of hits me like that. Yeah, the energy's crazy. So I'm just letting you know that the energy's crazy, and I'm feeling it too. So we all are. You know, I've read that bit. You know, on the replay on your vids, I always get bits of healing or wisdom I didn't first connect with on the live or watch or first watch. Thank you for being so entertaining. You're welcome. But honestly, there's value. Thank you very much. There's value in watching your vids over. Yeah, there is, you know, because that's not me being up my cellar that. It's just because like I said, when I watched my own video back, which again I don't do a lot, but I really should, because not only do I get the healing where I can't, it's hard to explain. I get the healing better, I've noticed, on my recorded stuff than if I'm just requesting it in the moment. Whereas when I request the healing for the person in the moment, they feel it. It's weird. But again, I always just feel it's to teach me to, like, well, it's like when I got stuck out at sea. Oh God, that's not really very funny with all the things going on in the world today. Again, you know, I meant to write that in the post, but that's kind of what I meant, because I've only seen bits of it. And I find it interesting that it's about the Titanic and that, because I've always felt very connected to the Titanic. And when I've had conversations with clients over the years, they've always mentioned feeling connected to the Titanic. Again, because I say this all the time, but I was actually, my mum's due date was the 14th of April, was like I was maybe born on the anniversary of the Titanic, which I always find really significant. And I was like weirdly obsessed with Titanic when I went to see it. Like, again, did anyone else do that? I know I've said this before, but what the fuck? I don't know if that was a weird thing that teenagers done when we were younger because there was fuck all else to do. Like, we didn't have all the distractions, which I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for the way the world was when I was a teenager. But I went to see it, like, I'm not even kidding. It was something mental, like 11 times or something. Why the fuck would you need to see a 3-hour film 11 times? Don't ask me. But again, it wasn't just me. Like, me and the same friends were going. We just maybe couldn't get enough of the fucking Jack and Rose shit. I don't know. Really weird. I don't know. Very weird. But I just always remember, like, why did I go to see that many times? But yes, anyway, when I put that prayer post up, we're praying and sending love to, all the parts in the world that need it, really. Okay, let's get into some cards now, right? So, well, some more cards. But with Nathan saying that, thanks for sharing that, Nathan. Yeah, it's good just to watch the stuff back, because like I said, that with me saying that about I get healing from it, that's not that unusual, because it's good to hear your own voice in hypnosis, or basically anyone that relaxes you. Hello, Michelle, how are you? So I'm glad that you feel it. And like I said, thank you to Nix again, because it's good when people, as many people as that can actually let others know that they felt it is brilliant. Because it's particularly, like, it's just funny how that's exactly how I felt when she was saying that she felt a wave of peace. And she initially thought, I think, from gathering from what we spoke, she initially thought it was after that tour video, because it would have been that too, because that was strong. But it's because it's like she's had a double dose, because she was included in the distance healing, and then that's, yeah. So don't let yourself feel like crap. There's stuff there. Right. So let's pull a card for the Divine Feminine Collective, and it'll just be, it'll either resonate or it doesn't. Let's see, what do we need to know? Physical body. Oh, and suffering was sneaking in on the bottom there. So, good God, right. Okay. You know, that's quite interesting, because not so much me, unless it was connected to me feeling suffering's a bit strong, but me feeling for someone else. But yeah, like that actually resonates for divine feminines in my life that I can think of, that there is suffering or exhaustion on the physical body, which actually kind of reminds me of what I went through, a couple of weeks ago when I was channeling about burnout and everything. And even when I saw it coming, that's the thing, I saw it coming and I still burnt out. And so I do think there is, before I read the cards, I'm going to read both of them, is that there is a strong message here to really pay attention, because Cancer season is your feelings. And it's very psychic. Again, I'm really psychic all the time, but this is a very psychic part of my chart that we've just moved into in Cancer season as well. So, and it's like I said, it is very sensitive, but it's a lot of how I can tune in to stuff when I just slow down. I'm just so tired tonight, but it's actually, like I say, it's quite good for it's actually very good for the loved ones in spirit when they want to just sort of bombard but this is Mediumship Monday. I can't even get the words out, I'm that tired. So yeah, wherever that fits for you, you might be suffering within your own physical body, or again, suffering's quite strong, but we'll see what it says. You could just be having a lot of discomfort in your own physical body because of ascension symptoms, because people have got chronic pain out there, because you get headaches, migraines, the things to do with the dark. Actually, I'm not spoken about that, and it feels like years actually. But I used to, when I was going through my dark night of the soul, it wasn't at the time, but directly after I came out of it on the Facebook Lives, I did channel about that a lot, and I would have on the videos at the time too. But remember, I was nowhere near as consistent on here. But anyway, during my dark night of soul, had intensely sharp pains in my ribs. And I was at the doctor's, I was just back and forward to the doctor's all the time, and I was in agony, and they couldn't work out what it was, and it was just this pain that wouldn't go away. And I feel I felt at the time, and reflecting back on it, I do feel it was my heart, it was my heart chakra. It was like some kind of heart activation going on, but it was it was such a sharp pain. It reminds me of when I'm doing either it's something, God, fuck, don't tell me that's going to happen tonight, that I'm saying, I must be saying that for a reason. See, because the Thursdays are more about the healing, that I might be saying that for a reason. Maybe I feel like somebody watching this, again, now it might not be necessarily one of you that talks, but I feel somebody tuning in is experiencing pain in their body like that. Either it could be in the exact same way or somewhere else on your body, and it's a bit of a mystery. So I'll just go with this. But back, when that was happening to me, it was really uncomfortable. It felt like a stitch, but we're talking the worst stitch you've ever. It felt worse than a stitch, basically. So it was like a stitch, but it was painful. It was like a sharp pain, that just wouldn't go away. And then the doctors were checking me over in that, and they were like, thank God the doctor at the time was like, you're absolutely fine. I've checked everything, but I know you're not lying. I can see that you are in pain. And then, when I'd said about another doctor said to me at the time, again, I was actually really lucky with the doctor, and I've had loads of arguments with doctors over the years, whether it be about me or others in my life. But yeah, the doctor had told me to basically, she'd asked if I was spiritual, and she was like, and we sort of came to the conclusion it would be good to breathe through the pain. And yeah, and I was doing yoga at the time and everything, is it Kundalini yoga, and then that was and then I shortly after had my spontaneous Kundalini activation awakening, which I wouldn't wish that upon. I wouldn't wish anything on it. I don't like that saying, but you know what I'm saying. It was agony. And that's very rare for that to happen to someone, that it comes on that quick. But it was just they probably knew I could handle it because my clairs have been firing since I was a kid anyway, or really since I came out the womb. They just amped it up like a lot of gears. Do you know what I mean? And it just keeps happening. But we're talking about to home in on the pain bit. It's worrying, because if you're experiencing pain in your body, you don't know what's going on, and then a lot of you could go to the doctor and the doctor will be fucking useless and they don't know. So, and again, it's just, I'm just laughing because the things that I get thrown to help other people with, but for myself as well, I could write a book about that alone. I probably won't bother writing that book because I've got that many other ones I need to write, and I will write. But like, I've always had really weird shit that's happened to me over the years that baffles doctors and that. And again, I just happen to feel it's because of it is because of who I am. It's because of the, it's because of my shaman, but I don't think it's just that. I feel it's my, like, the galactic side of me as well. But yeah, very strange things that happen to me. But so yeah. So this is all very right. Let's read this now. A lot of phantom pain all over my body, but mainly my ribs and my left. Like, oh well, there you go then. So yours is in your ribs. Oh, so thank you for validating that, Nathan. I kind of felt that when I was saying it. That must be connecting to somebody now, and I'm glad it's somebody that talks. Although I'm glad of it. Well, I'm not glad if you're in pain, but I'm glad if it resonates with people that aren't talking. But it's good if somebody lets me know. Again, that's why we say send me an email if that's you as well. But just don't send me like a big fucking. Don't send me an essay. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's only to I have to make that clear. It's only to make me aware, because it's always good to get to know who that's speaking to, because then I'll just talk about it more. But yeah, so I'm sure there was other sorts of things, but that was the main thing that I can think about. Was I remember it was in two places. It was two specific places. And I actually feel when I'd spent a shitload of, like, a long time healing that core wound of unworthiness. I listened to a lot of audiobooks, a lot of the ones that I've mentioned, like, not that long ago recently, and it went away. Yeah, it just went away. But so again, I suppose it's just they're wanting to talk about that there's some things that, a doctor, especially particularly someone that's in that kind of science world, they're going to completely miss it. They're not going to get it. And it's because it's not logical. It's an energy thing. Yeah. So yeah, just pay attention to both though. But like I always said, it's about balance, and anyone in my life, whenever I'm sending them healing, I always just stress that it's always wise to go to the doctor as well, and I do too, reluctantly, but but I do go, whenever I've got stuff going on or that too. But yeah, do both. They're both as important as each other. Right, okay, so let's read this physical body, and then I'll see if Divine Masculine gets similar ones. So like I'll say, if this doesn't resonate with you, just hold it, because you might be yet to go through something like this, or it could be useful for somebody around you if you're recognizing they've got physical pains going on, or never mind physical. It says physical body, but it could be like actually, never mind. Could be. I said this to someone in my life actually the other day. It's that, saying it all the time, but it's like, mental, emotional, and spiritual pain. So let's talk about trauma, right? Because who doesn't want to talk about trauma? But Cancer season, the fourth house, and by the way, if you're new, like what I'm doing now, when I burp, that was quite loud, or I don't think it picks up, but or hiccup, that's when I'm transmuting energy, and I can feel I'm probably going to do it. And I did just drink fizzy water to see, that's me being practical, but it's I'm likely to do it more because of what I set the intention for tonight, with it being more about more healing and less about the cards. But yeah, I happen to feel, I was saying to some recently, that, if you're not facing an emotional, spiritual, or mental something going on within you, it makes sense that the physical body will scream at you, or something will happen to get you to get attention, to get your attention, because it's like we can all disassociate or not face some kind of wound from the past, by just distracting yourself, going doing something that takes your mind off it or whatever. But if you're doing too much of that and you're not facing the healing that you need to, and it's not even that you're not facing any healing, you might actually be doing healing, but it's just from my own experience and from helping others with this for years, is you might just be spending too much time in one area. Or like, you know, like when you're balancing your chakras and that too, you're always forever balancing your heart chakra or something. But maybe you need to balance your this must be for someone. Maybe you need to spend a bit of time balancing your root chakra. Do you know what I mean? Like it's, or maybe you need to spend a bit of time. Yeah, that must be for someone. Because that's what I found when I was first doing, like, you know, guided to do more of this for me, because I had no fucking choice what I was feeling. But again, remember, I've been meditating and balancing my chakras and that since I was very young. But when you're in the dark night, so it's like you really, your just soul will guide you to do it all, really. But yeah, you get a bit overexcited with all the psychic chakras and that, but it's all equally important. So I really just want to stress that. And obviously, the root chakra is the physical body. Interesting, right? Okay. It's in my back, pushing forward, straight past my ribs, very intense. Now the reason I watch so many of your vids is because I need the healing every little bit I can get. I'm trying to trigger regeneration. That sounds very intelligent, Nathan. Love it. But no, that is wise, because it's in my back, pushing forward, straight past my ribs. That sounds really similar. Well, let's shift a bit of that tonight while I'm talking. Just notice if it moves or that, the pain, because that's what happens when I'm doing that. Again, this is what I can help you with when we do that. When we do that one-to-one. Yeah, the pain usually moves. Like, I'm just trying to think, the last one I done with someone, it was the pain moved from her throat, and that was when I was experiencing it as like trying to swallow a bit of bread. And then it moved up from her throat. I don't know, it moved somewhere. And then we done a soul retrieval. But yeah, anyway, right, okay, so let's read this physical body. Physical body, Gaia, nutrition, physical well-being, groundedness, practicality. Gaia, the divine earth mother, is present, making you aware of your marvelous physical body, her great gift to you. Oh my God. Sorry, I'm noticing the synchronicity. I wrote in the post earlier. And the funny thing was, it was like I was picking my niece up from, I would say school, but it's because she's at school soon, and I couldn't see the phone. It was like the sun was on the phone, and I thought, I don't know if anything spelled wrong or that, it was because I couldn't fucking see. But I wrote something about, be, just something about being grateful. And I think one thing that a lot of people forget to be grateful for, like, you'd be like, what have I got to be grateful for? This is happening, that's happening, blah, 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 blah. And it's kind of like, a lot of us could be like, yeah, I hear you. You know what I mean? There's a lot of shit happening in my life too. Like, I feel we're all going through it in some sort of way. But be grateful for your health. I think that is something that many people can forget, that if you've got your health where many others haven't, be grateful, because when your health's taken away from you, that's when it slaps you in the face how important that is, or when it happens to others around you. So just putting it in perspective a little bit there for some of you. And also, I take it in when I'm saying it too. Be grateful for her gift. It's a wondrous temporary home for your spirit. She asks that you give it respect and attention it deserves and needs, so take care of it with love and attention. Give it adequate rest, a proper diet, and a calm and peaceful environment. And I definitely hear that after I was running along the busy road trying to catch the fucking bus, and just to give you a laugh, when I actually this is like a metaphor for my life. When I actually thought I'd it wasn't like yes or anything, but I was kind of like, oh, thank fuck for that. When I finally had raced along this busy road to get there, sunburnt, eyes itchy as fuck with the long grass, sensitive too from whatever it was I was sent there to soak up to share with folk. For me too, but that is what I got guided, and to help the world, to heal the world as well. That's why I was sent there. But it was the wrong fucking side of the road. I was like, no. I was like, come on, to fuck. Yeah, it was the wrong fucking side. I was like, fuck you, dyslexia, fuck you. So yeah, I then had to cross the road, and that's why the bus took me a different route on what I'd planned. But yeah, I can now see that that's a metaphor. So that is a metaphor for some of you out there. You might be trying to go one way to avoid, well, whatever your awkwardness or whatever you're avoiding, or potential awkwardness or whatever, or just uncomfortable feelings. And then life can just reroute you right into the uncomfortable feelings. And it might not be that bad. You know what I mean? Fuck, whatever that means to you. But that is what was right though, yeah, because it was like, yeah, interesting. But then it was in the bus stop was like, now it's time to put your feet up. And I was like, fucking damn right it is. And yes, I am a clear channel that needs to put her feet up. Right, so spend time with nature. Well, yes, I did do that, thanks. It didn't help my hay fever, but anyway, as the earth is the true mother to your body and will restore it. The better you care for your body, the more it will serve your spirit. Listen to your body, its gut feelings, its flutters, its impulses, as Gaia speaks to you through it. This is the Earth Mother cradling you, protecting you, and guiding you through each day. So this is for divine feminines to love and nurture and care for your physical body, but it's also for divine masculines, receptive side, your feelings. It's for both. She advises you not to live in your head alone. Oh, and that is divine masculine energy, really being in your head, and ignore your physical self. So she advises you not to live in your head alone and ignore your physical self. Without a strong connection to your body, you'll be weak and unable to achieve your goals. Gaia's message, pay attention to your body. Now, that reminds me of when I've spoke about disassociation and, you know, fragmented soul and how important soul retrieval is. Because that's very linked to trauma, is that when you've got some sort of trauma and you don't want to face it, or push down your feelings, you want to do something that, you know, distracts you. And a lot of that stuff that I can think of, well, the main one being drink, or, you know, if you want to take it to, you know, stronger drugs and stuff like that, or both. But there'll be other things, but, you know, these are the main ones that kind of pop into my mind. And yeah, if you think about it, you know what I mean? If you, when you've experienced it yourself, or if you see others, and it's always an interesting thing if you are in, now, which obviously is that, well, not a lot, but obviously there are some circumstances, because again, I'm not a complete nun and priest, and I'm a priestess, but you know what I mean, I'm in circumstances now and again where I'm around a whole load of drunk folk, let's face it, but not very often because I'm so sensitive. And the weird thing is as well, when I'm with someone that's drunk, I soak up the alcohol. So it's like I become drunk, which is a fucking cheap date, isn't it? It's like a cheap night, but it's yeah, you recognize a lot as well. You know, not only can I recognize when, I call it like demonize to myself, I don't really say it loud, but I just said it now. I recognize when that energy is in someone. And you can also, you know, just people can be nippy. Oh, I swear really badly there, but you know what I mean? They can just be nippy. And it's more nippy if you're sober, which is why I don't hang around at events like that, or wherever I am, I'm out. Or I've just not went in the first place. But what I'm to focus in here, it's like I can see when people are not in their body. Do you know what I mean? Not really. Like they're floating outside of their body. Like they're still getting on with stuff and all that, but they're just not present. It's hard to explain. It just reminds me of that card where it was in one of the recent videos when the Align Your Life card, and wait a minute, I need to find it, and that'll take about half an hour. So just give me. It's the woman's face is all over the place. And it's just like, you know, she's just in bits, but this could be she, he, whatever identifiers. It's, for God's sake, wait a minute. No, I can't be arsed. You know the one I mean. The woman's face is like kind of in pieces, and you have to like piece yourself back together. And that basically is soul retrieval, to simplify it. Is it's, you know, when you're called to pull back these parts of yourself. Which, like I say, you can do that through just joining in the group stuff that I do as well, or watching the things on the playlist. But for the deeper or the bigger stuff, it's the one-to-one session is what's going to do that. Right, okay, so let's read suffering as well. See what I remember I said Cancer season is about feelings and it can bring up miserable feelings. Suffering. The physical body is suffering though. Interesting. Right. Suffering divine teachers. Accident. Oh no. This really isn't very good today. Accident, sickness, trauma, and betrayal. And I've just been channeling about trauma, and I had no idea that this card was about trauma. I suppose suffering gives a bit of a hint, but an important part of being a human and something that can't be avoided is the pain that comes from simply being vulnerable to the physical world. Shit, so there's a lot about the root chakra here. Because I gave an example, which is never just an example of someone's paying too much attention to the heart and opening the heart when you should be paying more attention or the most attention to your root. So whoever that speaks to, take it on board. I'm just actually trying to tune. Is this for me as well? Yeah, I think I could probably take quite a bit of that because my exercises, like I've not had as much exercise as what I generally tend to have. So, right. Well, actually, I suppose I did yesterday, but I meant in general. Your divine teachers warn that you're facing such a time. Sickness may be at hand. Now, I just said I can tell where this resonates for others in my life. And accidents, traumas, sudden loss, and injury are all potentially around you. And then there's me saying that I felt like I was on a fucking death run or something, walking along that road, fucking running at one point. And like I'd always say to somebody else, never be in a hurry when it comes to traffic and that, whether you're in the car or walking around, because nothing is ever that important that you need to, you know what I mean? It's not going to be that important if you're fucking croaked, eh? Right, okay, so whether confronted with something severe or just the ongoing struggle of getting through the day, your physical body may be challenged and in pain and suffering may follow. That is so fucking interesting because, God, I feel this is about shock as well, you see, because it's like, it's just all about trauma. It's like, it's in Cancer season, right? And Cancer moon, Cancer anything is about being kind to yourself, self-care. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if I do some sort of series or something, or you know, about self-care this month. I think I'd loosely planned that, so I might do that at some point, because Cancer to me, again, it's self-love, but it's self-care, and it's this is really coming in for a reason. But it's like, you know, it might not necessarily be you that is going through some kind of physical thing or emotional trauma or pain, although we've all got, like I said, we've all got trauma. It could be that, like, you know, you're getting a shock from others around you being in any of this, and that takes its toll. Like, basically it's stress, isn't it? Stress takes its toll on the physical body. So if you're going through a difficult time, or you're watching others around you go through a difficult time, that's the message too. It's about taking care of your physical body. Or if you're like myself, like, again, a lot of healers are drawn to me, if you are healing others, always making sure that you are also taking care of you. Which is why I purposely, you know, I listened when it's like, yeah, I wouldn't have any energy to do live sessions this week, just because of the energies that I gathered there yesterday, and just in general, the energies that are coming in. The solstice week is a weird one. Like I said, it's powerful on the actual solstice, but I do feel the rest of it before it and after is just a bit choppy, a big bit choppy. This isn't meant to scare you, but rather to warn you that you're not as... Right, I can't. What's the point in fucking reading the book? I've picked up the card and channeled what it's about. I've never even fucking read this card in my life. Again, I told you I'm a bit more psychic this month, so let's see what happens. That's fucking mental. This is what I just said. But rather to warn you that you're not as grounded as you should be. And that's what the root chakra is about, if you didn't know that. Obviously, lots of you do. But there's me saying, you're not as grounded. And I was going on about grounding before. In fact, you may be attracting injury or drama to gain some personal space. Shit. That reminds me, in one of the Divine Masculine decks of cards, when it says in one of my decks of cards, I'm not, it's something about like creating an argument just to be alone. Oh shit, I felt that in my third eye when I said that. So somebody's actually doing that out there. This could be you, or it could be someone you know, is finding themselves creating arguments with others just to be alone. Which actually, sorry men, but a lot of men do that. And again, it's not conscious. I don't feel it, well, it might be for some, but I don't feel it's conscious for a lot of people. And again, some women will do this too, particularly if you're overly in that masculine energy, which 95% of women are. But you know what I mean? It can all be going on under the surface. Right. Your divine teachers advise you to be open to the fact that any pain or upset you attract isn't without hidden gifts or opportunities. Your broken leg, oh God, this is what I say all the time. I love it. Your broken leg or aching back, for example, may provide the much needed rest you wouldn't otherwise take, right? I cannot. I'm going to have to direct this to someone in my life. This is really scarily. This is what happens in my life. And sometimes I think it's kind of cruel and sometimes it fascinates the fuck out of me. You know what it's reminding me of, actually? It reminds me of, now I've went a whole different route, but this was a trauma too. But when my family dog died, well, it's quite a few years now, and I don't want to talk about it too much. I could genuinely start crying because we all know how much a dog is part of the family, any animal, but I'm a dog lover. So obviously it was, absolutely, not obviously, because not everyone is, but I was I had dogs from the minute I was, born. They already had a dog, and that dog was very, very, very protective. Can I actually say it again? Those of you that aren't so open-minded, which is probably just a lurking haters, so who gives a fuck? But yeah, I still feel to this day my dogs that I had growing up, like all around me. Like I always feel all the animals that I've had that are in the spirit world, as well as the people. Like I feel them around, of course, I feel them around me really, really strongly. But one of my dogs, when I was a wee baby, was like very protective of me. And she was like that she was like that until the day she died. She was very, very protective of me. But so maybe someone's got something significant with a dog here as well. Like, maybe there's a anniversary of a dog's death, or that'd be really fucking weird. I think I can't actually remember when. I can't remember what time of year it was. Oh no, I can. It was August. Oh, I think it was August because it was a festival. Yeah, I don't really want to drag that up, thanks, because now it's like I'm picturing my dad as well. It was horrible. My mum loved the dog too, but my last dog, my mum loved the dog as well. And it's not that my sister didn't love the dog, but she's definitely not a dog lover in the sense that me and my dad are. Me and my dad were definitely the most gutted. And why am I talking about this? But yeah, so the point is, to bring it back to the point, is that it all means something though. I bet you I feel maybe somebody's dog is passed in this powerful energy, because why am I talking about this? Sorry if your dog is passed, but like ever, because again, my dogs, have been gone quite a few years for the last one that did, and the other ones have been gone ages. But I've got pictures of them all around my house and that. But yeah, I was running my first membership at the time, which only had a small handful of women in it. But I was going through the Chakra Wisdom Oracle, and the card that, like, literally on the week of my dog dying, the card that I pulled that I was reading was, and it was more than reading. We were like studying. It was hard to explain, but we were like studying it, and it was grief. The card's called Grief, and the fable in that book is about her dog dying, and it's about unconditional love. So it's actually really making me think, do I need to go and get, I don't know if they're right. If I don't do that now, I'll find it for the next time, or someone can remind me. But it was really, I kind of want to go and get it now. But anyway, yeah, that's what the fable's about. And that's what I'm just saying. It was really crazy how it connected so strongly with my own life. And a lot of people would be like, right, this is not, you don't need to do that when you're going through this. But they take me pretty close to the bone with how much, I can handle a lot. And I could handle it because it was really beautiful, potent teaching at the time. And again, this was like 7 years ago. Maybe even 8 years ago. No, maybe 7 years ago. How long's Facebook Live been out? Must be 7 years now. Yeah, it was about could be 6 years ago. It doesn't feel like 6. It feels like longer than that. Wait a minute. If we're in 2023, maybe it was 2017 actually. Can I count? No. Whatever. Nathan, it's your fault. Every time, sorry, I'm only joking, but every time I go fucking mega sleepy, I'm just going to be like, why is this happening? It's Nathan's Chiron. It's Nathan's Chiron. Old lady mode is activated. I'm only joking. It's just because it's Cancer season. It's because it's 1 degree Cancer sun. And I'm like, fuck. I've just floated on here. Right, okay, so your broken leg or aching back, for example. Oh, you just said that. May provide the much needed rest you wouldn't otherwise take. Your runny nose and cough might give you the privacy you need to regenerate your spirit. Holy fucking shit. That's why they made me refer back to the other week when I had exactly that. It was, go inwards, except I did remember I kept working because I thought it was hay fever. But in my defence, if I'd known it was a heavy cold, I wouldn't have done that, right? So we live and learn. It's also important to note that any pain or drama you attract isn't greater than your ability to handle it. There we go. That's what I just said. The greatest upset you face might actually be in trying too hard to avoid pain, which I can see how that connects to something I said earlier, which in the end may cause even more. In other words, the fear that you won't be able to abide any discomfort is far more disabling than anything you might actually incur. In accepting the upset of the moment with grace, you'll gain wisdom, compassion, and strength. Your divine teacher's message: embrace and be patient with your pain. Well, ain't that a fucking message and a half for divine feminines? Embrace and be patient with your pain. That's for fucking all of us. Sorry, that was just to the message. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's been a lot of fucking patience for the pain. Actually, fucking hell. Sorry, that's clearly triggered. It will bring insight and understanding, and in time, peace. You will heal. And just to slap us in the face at 39, it's on page 39. It's quite funny, really. So again, that's not just for divine feminines, that can be for divine masculines as well. They're experiencing any kind of pain, trauma, or suffering in your body. It actually sounded very much like childbirth, isn't it? When I'm describing it, and it's just interesting that that's like, well, and again, that is the mother, that is Cancer energy, that's the 4th house, and that is what that's what Charlotte had said earlier. Right. A friend of mine told me yesterday while I was at the hospital for an appointment, and he told me he has lung cancer. Oh God, yes, praying for your friend, that's awful. And I'm praying for you as well for whatever you're at the hospital with, obviously keeping that to yourself. Right, you felt that was your twin I was talking about. She does kind of start arguments to run away from me. Oh yeah, she absolutely will. If that is your twin flame, she will, yeah. And that's the thing that's sad, is she might not realise that she's doing it, Nathan. So have some compassion for that as well. And again, have compassion if you do it yourself. I feel I might have actually made some of you think about that. That's like, oh, did I do that? Probably be a whole lot easier to just say you need some time yourself. Right. It was like I had an interaction like that today with a friend that like I'd text to say something and then she just acknowledged and hearted the text. And then that would have been fine if she'd just done that, because again, I'm that psychic, I just tuned in and I get it. We're very similar in that way, that it's like I just felt she was in hermit, needing a bit of time herself. But then she did actually it's not, I was going to say it's not a good example, but it is. She did then send a text back a couple hours later, but you know what I mean? Even so, let's say she hadn't, like, it's, I don't make it about me. Do you know what I mean? I'm not like, oh, what the fuck's wrong with it? It's like I'm just like, you know, there's something that was actually coming to me before I came on here. There's something about not assuming that you know why somebody, yeah, there's something about not assuming, not just not making assumptions about other people's lives, about why they're being a certain way or something. So again, it's like with the work that I do here, it's always just we're exploring it, and it's never you know, you don't know. Well, this is so deep, but this is all the stuff I was sort of that they were like talking to me about yesterday and stuff, is that, well, I suppose I was laughing at myself. I was laughing, but I was thinking how fucking shit it is as well. But it does make me laugh more than I feel sorry for myself. But it is really pretty crazy that, like, some of the messages that I channel, like, definitely when I think back to like this time last year, or definitely when it gets into like July, August, like some of the messages that I was channeling, like, they were really strong about the ones about union and divine masculines waking up and stuff. It's not that that's not going to happen. Like, it is already happening for some, and it has happened for some as well. But some weren't there yet. And that's what I was just kind of laughing about, is that it's like, it's funny when you're, I'm just feeling into this, but they must want me to talk about this. It's funny when you are a channeler or you're doing that, and it's like, you know, I'm just putting out the message because I know that it's important. But that is the kind of weird thing about it that I've learned along the years through doing this work myself and watching others, is time is so weird. It's like, you know, things can't, that's what manifestation is as well. You put it out there in the energy, in the spiritual realm, and then it manifests in the physical. But it's literally impossible to figure out when it is going to manifest in the physical. Like, I actually don't believe anyone can really tell you that. Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't believe someone if they told you they could. But it's, I don't know, it's just like, that's very deep, but that is what I was thinking. Because what always occurs to me is, there's no fucking way I would have channeled any of that shit. Like, had I known it was going to I was still going to be putting out these messages at this like a year from when I was doing it, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? So it's just, it makes me laugh, because it's like I get tricked into doing stuff for the collective, basically. Oh, at least I can laugh. Fuck. Right, okay, so there are times when I argue back because I can no longer suppress my personal truth. Well, yeah, but right, wait a minute, Nathan, I can't bloody, my friend's name is Chris also, right? Well, I'm praying for Chris. We're definitely keeping him in our prayers. Don't suppress your personal truth. See, it's really interesting hearing from you, though, because you are around your twin either a lot or more than most. You should never keep your truth in. I mean, you can't, you know, you can. I was about to say you can't be fucking arguing back and forth on that, but it's, I suppose when his time is right, like, take the twin flame thing out of it. There's a book, which I'm going to honest, I would have read it at some point, but I can't remember it. I can remember the main premise of it is, I'm okay, you're okay. Or I'm not, like, it's a box, right? You can even just draw it, or you could Google what it's it, but it's like, the idea behind it is, I'm okay. So if I'm okay and you're okay, it's a good time to talk, right? But again, you don't know that the person's okay, because there might be something going on. So I suppose you would need to ask, are you okay to talk just now? And then wait for them to answer. Again, this is all very, I laugh because a lot of counselling shit is as if anybody's that fucking considerate these days, or got the fucking time and patience to do that. And that's going from a counsellor, but I have, as it happens. But do you know, I notice out there, when you study things like counselling, you realise how much folk really do not fucking listen to you or anyone, or aye, it's not for the faint of heart. But yeah, to get back to the point, is the whole idea there is like, you know, like, so say you've had a really fucking stressful day, right? You've had a really stressful day at your work or something, right? So say a guy's had a really stressful day at their work and they come back and the wife or the girlfriend, whatever, is wanting to talk. And the wife's had quite a relaxed day, and you know, either she's been looking after the kids and it's been nice, or she's been at work or whatever, and or you, whatever, just change the examples I'm giving. But the guy's had a really difficult day, but he's not necessarily said because he doesn't want to worry or all this kind of shit. I must be feeling someone's significant situation for the details here. But that would be an example of, and remember, I can't really remember this, so I'm just sort of trying to feel into it. The wife would be, I'm okay, and the husband would be in, I'm not okay. So that wouldn't be a good time to talk, because the wife's feeling all right, but the guy isn't, right? So you're not, there's going to be a disconnect there right away. And there's other scenarios, like there's those. I actually do want to kind of look that up again, but anyway, that's generally the gist of it. It's common sense, but think about it, it's common sense, but a lot of people don't. Common sense doesn't really seem too common these days a lot of the time, does it? But it's like, you might feel you really want to talk about something because it's important, but you really do have to be considerate of the other. So again, this isn't just about love, or it isn't just twin flames. It can go with family members, it can go with friends, like what I was saying about my friend there. So it's just something to know. And equally, it has to go the other way. Like, you might not be in a good place for a conversation, but that's actually that's quite significant, because your Mac will sleep soon unless plugged into a power outlet. Sorry, I always laugh because and it's just funny what I was talking about there, because I was actually going to start channeling about if you're twins in a dark night of the soul. I'm laughing because it's just, I feel the energy and it makes me laugh, but that is hilarious. Because it might not be the right time to talk to the, oh my God, that's what I was meaning. That's why they made me say that. It just might not be the right time to talk to them because they're asleep, whether that be your twin or anyone else in your life. They don't get what you're on about because they're asleep. They don't get it yet. Which obviously isn't going to apply to a lot of you or a lot of twins now, because that's just what I was thinking about the last year. This time last year, a lot of you or your twins were fast fucking asleep. Wouldn't have got a lot of the stuff that I'm saying now. But this point on, a year on, there'll be a lot of stuff I channeled a year ago, a year and a half ago, sometimes even years ago in some cases, that have actually come to pass. So there's something about here being humble if you're someone like myself that saw something well in advance, because again, it's a gift and a curse, but you've got to, not everybody has that. Well, actually, that's getting into complicated shit. Wait a minute, I mean, I need the fucking plug before that. It's like I'm fucking on a roll here with some. Yeah, it's just basically that, right? Not everybody is awake. Not everybody is as awake as the next. And now I constantly have that message said to me by others in my life, or over the years, or when I need to write, or by my own guides or spirit or God, or a higher power. And so whoever needs to know that. But the whole reason why I started saying that was it does feel, I'm looking forward to when me and you talk one-to-one, Nathan, but although I know it can feel like that here a lot, but it does feel like on the moments where it seems like she would be all right to hear something you've got to say and you're okay, you basically need to go for it. You know what I mean? Don't always be holding that back, especially because you called it suppressing your truth, because if you truly do feel you are the divine feminine and she's the divine masculine, if you keep suppressing your truth, and that's a powerful thing to say, you've provided a powerful teaching moment here, just observing that. Guess what she's going to do? If you keep holding your truth in, she will keep holding her truth in to you and to anyone else. She needs to be honest. So, you know what I mean? Do it for yourself, but keep that in mind, that You can't do that. I think that's giving us all food for thought there. Right, so but she might, again, not might, she probably won't thank you for it in the moment, but there must be something in about that. She's not going to thank you in the moment, but she will thank you later when she gets it. Oh, that's powerful. That's for everyone. Learning how to detach and separate from the past and last divine union has been incredibly difficult because I love her. I must respect her boundaries and must teach her to respect mine as well. Yeah, and the thing is though, Nathan, again, we can talk, I'll be able to feel into this more when we talk one-to-one, but I don't know if I would even call it a union, because it is a union of sorts, but you know what I mean? It more sounds like reunion, because like, wait a minute though, I don't know, I was about to say, but if you're actually calling each other a couple, but I don't even think that. Well, no, it does. Are you actually back together? Now we're back together. I want to show you my heart is oh so true. And all the love. Is that Kylie or is it Jason Donovan? Fuck, we really are going back to the past. They're giving me childhood songs. Is especially for you. Can't sing it. But I did. I fucking did. Oh, great. And now there's a delay and I can see me like rocking out. Fuck, that's hilarious. Oh. This is absolute like my mum right now. It's just like not even funny. That's mental. Right, let's do Divine Masculines cards, because before I forget, physical body and suffering. Where's the Divine Masculine at? Oh, I wanted to pop out. Self-esteem. Oh, this is the one that Charlotte got yesterday, or no, Tuesday. Self-esteem, Guardian Angel Michael, and I work very closely with Archangel Michael. Oh my God, I knew it was going to happen. And we've got suffering, divine, we've got suffering again, mirroring. So I felt it when I was channeling it, you know, I really did. I should have said it, but I felt it. And I especially felt it. If you watch that back, I'll see it on the replay. I especially felt it for Divine Masculines when actually, if I'm honest, it felt like I was channeling a Divine Masculine message, although I'd said Divine Feminine. And that's why I always say this is for Divine Feminine, but it's Divine Masculine's feminine side as well, because it is both. And same when I read this one, this is for the feminine's masculine side too. But it's like when I just said there, before I forget, it's suffering and physical body, I felt Divine Masculine suffering in the physical body. And then to complicate matters even more, you're Divine Feminine, but masculine. So do you know what I mean? It's interesting. But yeah, so there's mirroring here going on. And then that one that I published last night, there was mirrored intimacy is what I titled it, wasn't it? Because I pulled the card intimacy. But this feels like suffering within the physical body. And I do feel there's definitely a suffering between twins right now, suffering in silence, as I said. But it's like the pain going on all levels is actually missing one another. It's like the word yearning is coming to me again. You know what I mean? It's like missing and yearning and longing. And where's those cards? I don't really want to use them tonight, but it reminds me of those red cards. Right. So I'm not going to read suffering again because I already read it. But let's read, although I read this on Tuesday for Charlotte, let's read this again, because this is where. Oh, and that's a 16 and a 23 is a powerful number. That's 5 change. And 16's a tower, big change, and often out the blue, sudden change. This is Dark Night, the soul energy. Because it says self-esteem, but I really kind of wanted to change that to low self-esteem and suffering. And then if you think about what I was healing was like, again, it's just what I said, in my Dark Night soul, it was unworthiness. So that's what a lot of you're healing. It's fucking rough. You know what I mean? Oh Christ, I've just dropped the card on the floor and I'll pick it up after. Not yet, but we might be able to work on that soon. I'm helping her out in a couple of weeks, and we have a temporary reunion. Yeah. Yeah, but just keep doing that. Keep on. You need to speak your truth too. And you also have to pay attention to the boundaries of everyone, and even your twin. Like the twin flame kind of flirting has been going on for the last few weeks. She wants to get drunk with me, and Lord only knows what. Yes. I think we can all imagine. And there'll be a lot of people fucking mega jelly you too that you're getting drunk with your twin flame. Have fun there. Have fun. And you only live once, Stephen, but we actually live many, many lives. But all jokes aside, though, because as fun as that will be, when that clearly will happen, if because again, right, let's just do a bit of coaching here. If we home in on you and your twin situation, which by the way, as I'm saying this, my third eye is going crazy. So I really do feel it's either about you getting a deeper insight into your connection, or it's it's both of you, or your twins getting like downloads and this solstice energies done stuff. But basically it's like if your specific cycle is that you are a pair of twins, that you are in each other's lives and you do see each other, but there is this balancing of the energies, the yin yang, the push pull, the magnets, that are either like getting drunk and where that leads to, or can't get to each other because of resistance. Then it wouldn't be healthy to keep repeating it, would it? That would often, that would be like a toxic cycle, really, because although you'll have fun in the moment, if she's like running off and then maybe being not as loving towards you, not kind of, I don't know, like it kind of reminds me like friends with benefits kind of thing a little bit. Like if it just kind of, not treating it as like a sacred, like a sacred union, or again, it's not like you need to do anything different. It's not, you know what I mean? It is just being, I was going to say properly in love. What the fuck is that? It'll be different to different people. But you know what I mean? If she's not honouring the connection really, and then it's leaving you hurt, which is how it would be, regardless of gender. If you're the divine feminine and you have just got all this unconditional love and understanding and empathy and forgiveness, and she's not fully awake to what that can do to you if you're in that kind of dynamic, then you've got to take responsibility to protect yourself of that situation just happening all the time. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, again, it's like when I've said before, like all those years ago, again, and I get long before I fully took on board what was going on in that deeper spiritual way. Do you know what I mean? Because I definitely knew there was something really unusual and addictive and and uncomfortable and fun and playful. You know what I mean? It was all these different emotions. I knew that he stirred all that shit up in me, and I definitely stirred all up in him, because to the point where like the very few times we've ever spoke on the phone, we actually can't speak. Like, and if anyone's speaking it, guess who it would be? It would be me. But like, do you know what I mean? It's I can't really put into words. It's really, but only me and him would really fully know what I'm meaning. It's really strange. It's like, it's either word vomit or wanting to stay on the phone just because you're connected, but not actually knowing what to say. It's awkward as fuck. Like that's which is why I didn't want to go that bus route. He's not going to be on the bus, but like, do you know what I'm saying? It's like, no matter, like, I'm just actually, fuck, I've said it now, but I'm just laughing because it's like, no matter luck, things like that. It's like the fucking bus would stop at a fucking traffic light, and you know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's a bit like, it reminds me when I shared once on one of these lives last year that again, when I was in that time of life and I didn't realise how powerful this was, I was on my way to work and I worked in a supermarket at the time, like I used to hand out drink. Do you know what I mean? I would hand out the samples of drink. It's a fucking brilliant job. Like, I actually did love it. And I had like, it was a really fun place to work. Because I'd just get pissed and then I'd go out later with my friends. But like, and other reasons, like I loved all the people there. It was like a big family. It was great food as well. But yeah, anyway, long story short, I seen a hot guy walking up after a night out. And I was like, now why can't I just find someone like that? He's hot. And then the closer he got, it was him. I was like, oh great. And he's clearly just been at somebody's house. That's fucking brilliant. But you know what I mean? That's a typical twin flame thing. Because I thought, why did I just thought, I could have been looking out the other way, but no, you know what I mean? Why did you have to fucking show me that? But again, remember, I wouldn't have seen it quite the same way because I didn't know that that's what we were. I just felt there's that word, a pang. It was like, I thought, I don't really like that. It's like, I don't really like that. Do you know what I mean? It was like, but I knew that it didn't feel good. Do you know what I mean? And then I just went away to work, just probably thinking all day, like, I mean, why did you, I know that he's out there doing that with other people, but why did you need to fucking show me? Do you know what I mean? God. But again, it wasn't like I was like boo-hoo crying into my fucking, it was just a fleeting kind of, that's a bit uncomfortable. And then, yeah, because that's where I was at that time in my life. And then I think I told them the next time I saw him, I think I told them. And then it just wouldn't be, you know what I mean? It wouldn't be a big deal. But quite funny. Right when I found you, I started seeing her as my true soulmate. I hope to move on to something sacred. Oh, Nathan, I want to screenshot that shit, and I don't know how to do that on the replay. Maybe I'll find it because it takes a while. I want to screenshot what you said because so many people say that to me. Because again, there's something about my energy and what I'm here to do for people is I do help people realise who the real one is. Would the real Slim Shady please stand up? Because I am a true twin flame. You know what I mean? Obviously, the fake ones are going to fucking say that too, but I am. And other true twin flames on that path can recognise and feel that energy and that frequency. But yes, right, okay, let's read this. Self-esteem. Fuck's sake, Matt. Do you know what I mean? It's like we're going down fucking memory lane. The past. Oh shit. Do you know what it is as well? I never said that in the last few. It's Venus retrograde shadow, the pre-shadow. So that makes you do what I'm doing. It's like, because it's like Mercury retrograde, but it's about fucking love and romance and shit like that. So it's why it's like Mercury retrograde. You've got to watch that you don't get pulled back to the past and hook up with an ex, like a karmic ex. Or you've got to watch, there we go, actually. You've got to watch you don't fall into a toxic loop, even with your twin flame, because although you might not call it that, Nathan, because let's be honest, it's going to be fun in the moment. But you know what I'm saying? Only that's why I even started saying all of that. That's what I had to do when I realised that I had developed, or probably always been there, but like really strong feelings for my I wasn't calling them my twin flame, for my person that I hooked up with after a night out. Do you know what I mean? That I was just like, this isn't healthy, because I'm starting to really like him, and well, it's too late. I do really like him, and he's never expressed wanting to be anything more with me. And then it got even more complicated because I saw huge signs of actually you do like me a lot more than you let on. But it's like pulling teeth, do you know what I mean? You can't fucking hang around. And at the time, again, twin flame or not, I was like, I can't fucking hang around and be treated like this. So, and again, when I say treat like this, I just mean that was my responsibility, because we were just having fun, but there were feelings involved. And it's just, again, like I always say, the cancers make me talk about the past. In my specific situation, but I feel everyone's. A lot of the time, although it's good to talk and express your feelings and to work them out, when it comes to my situation, I've spoke about it that much with close friends of mine and worked it all out. And then for the past, like you say, year and a bit now, year and a half, done it on here. That's why I can't be bothered, saying the same shit. But I don't sit about and dwell on it and feel like anything could have happened sooner than, sooner than when it will, because it's just wasn't meant to be. Like, it's not that it wasn't meant to be ever. It wasn't meant to be until whenever shit happened, because of the intensity between twin flames. It's destined, and it's not like other connections. And you're forced to become the highest version of yourself. And when you've both done that, then you'll be allowed to be together if you both want it. And it's just really it's just really fucking complicated. I can't be bothered going into it, actually. This is quite interesting though, because I did get drawn to Warrior Spirit is on the bottom, competition. So I don't know what that's about, but it's the one after this. So let's read both. Right. Integrity, self-expression, boundaries, convictions. Sorry, I can't help but notice that's interesting, because that is basically what I was just saying, is I had to set boundaries with my twin when I realised for myself, even if he doesn't like me as much as I like him, I've recognised I really do like him a lot. Well, I love him, but it's like, I realised I loved him. So I can't do this anymore. And it was really it was really painful and very tempting as well. I don't know how I done it, really, to be honest, but I did. I kept standing my ground several times at that all those years ago. And then he went in a huff with me, I would say. Even maybe say it different, but yeah. But all jokes aside, that it would have hurt him as well, that because he might have taken it a different way. And again, this is all the things that's the things that you do wonder. But again, it also, you think about it, my spirit would have just been guiding me to be like, no, this can't happen, and somebody needs to put a close to it, because you need to both go off into different directions just now. Yeah, that is what it was about. You may feel like the odd man out right now, divine masculines, as others may not fully appreciate or support your ideas and perspectives. In fact, you might be feeling discounted altogether. Fortunately, the guardian angel Michael is present to help you remain grounded and centered, even in such times of being challenged or misunderstood. He counsels you to remain true to yourself and steadfast in your convictions, even if they aren't shared by those around you. It reminds me of the don't dim your light to fit in. Yes, it can be scary to go against the crowd and stand up for what you believe in, especially when it's unpopular or possibly ahead of its time. A little bit like your divine feminine. But Michael stands by you and reminds you that this is part of becoming a spiritually mature soul. He helps you ignore popular opinion and stay true to your heart, which is why I'm a teacher of this, because if you haven't already recognised, I'm always guiding you to do that, then you're no fucking paying attention. Don't seek approval or doubt yourself when you don't receive it. Instead, Michael encourages you to stand in your full spiritual adulthood and claim your self-esteem by trusting what you feel and believe in. Again, it reminds me of when we're still coming from our inner child, which we can all do depending on what it is. We can all fall back into it with different things. That is when you take back your power. And again, shamanic healing is all about empowerment. You do enough soul retrieval that you're empowered enough to be like, actually, no, like, this is what I feel. And even if anybody doesn't agree with, like, you can never tell somebody how they feel. If you think about it, you can tell it, but if somebody says they feel a certain way, like, you feel how you feel. So you've got to validate your own feelings, you know what I mean? Do not abandon yourself to win approval in the moment. That's what I titled the live the other night. And don't be afraid to take a stand. After all, this is how you'll become the true leader of your own life. And the Emperor in the tarot is, a lot of people consider that the divine masculine card in the tarot, along with other ones. And I always say for the Emperor, become the leader of your own life. And that's what divine masculines are being guided to do at this time, is fuck what others think and go your own way. But we all need to hear that. So let's hear what competition and warrior guides is about. Oh Christ, okay, this is why I need to read this, because this actually just echoes what I just said about the energies. Strife, arguments, conflicts, and battle. This is a time of conflict and challenge, pure and simple. No matter how you look at it, confrontation and discord are on the horizon. Others don't agree with you or see your perspective. See how these fit together. And they don't intend to cooperate with you in any way. So there is a strong message here about some divine masculines that resonate with this message right now. You need to stand up for something that you believe in and how you feel. And there is conflict and there is people that don't agree with you. And I feel it's a majority for whoever this is for. But that doesn't mean that you're wrong and they're right. And that could be very difficult if you've been gaslit. Especially if you've been like conditioned to believe that you're always going to be wrong in a situation and the other person's right, which is many people. Which is why I always stress how important counselling is. If you notice there's a pattern in your life of always making everyone else right and you're wrong, that's the, oh yeah, and the card is low self-esteem. You know what I mean? Like that's when other, clearly other people have been telling whoever resonates with this that you're not good enough or making you feel like that somehow. And again, when I say making you feel like that, nobody can make you feel like something. You allow people to make you feel like that. But you know what I'm saying? It's like that done over time or over years can really grate on someone. So that's why the messages always come through about unconditional love and forgiveness, because we're all peeling back the layers of conditioning that are not helpful. And it's a lot of work for both twins. And I truly do feel as well that, you know, a lot of the, I don't really want to go too much into that, but I really do feel a lot of the false twin flames, but I mean like false teachers of it as well, are going to fall. Or there's going to be huge indicators. Because again, like don't, obviously, like again, I'm very big on don't like name people or that, whether it's good or bad, because I don't think it's fair. I only say like don't say the good because it's not fair for not to say bad. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's I don't know where I'm getting that from, but I'm just getting a really strong download that it's like it's going to become really quite clear if you can see stories don't match up and stuff. And remember, it's always going to be ones that aren't real that dominate the algorithms. I could even be getting that for other platforms. It doesn't necessarily need to be here. But there can also be people that are popular that are good too, but there's something about that. I feel it is something about it. It's going to become crystal clear to some of you that do tune in to several different people that and again, not everyone's story is all going to be the same, but there should be some quite common, if someone isn't constantly repeating, it's about unconditional love and forgiveness. Bearing in mind that people are going to be, you know, triggered from now and, you know, now to get it. Just depends. Yeah, it really comes back to the thing on the bus stop. It depends how clean a channel someone is, but yeah. But if it's if there's a lot of like shaming and I don't know. I can't really share. There's something. I don't know. That's just a message for someone. Right. Okay. So, I think it's as well, you know, it's something along the lines of, you know, like it reminds me, I'm getting like a siren vibe. You know, like what a siren is like a demon, really, like that's an energy that would almost reminds me when I say about devil energies. Hello, next, like kind of lure you in, but the information is like a half truth. It's I don't know. I was seeing a siren, but that is what to me false light is. It's they lure you in with like a half truth, but it's like a bit of a trick. It kind of more. I feel this actually is a message for like people that are either newly awakened like to the twin flame connection or taking it seriously. And just if you're tuning into lots of different messages, it's just about, I don't know, they're just saying to me, it's like, if you haven't got such a high self-esteem, or you kind of, I feel like somebody's really muddied the waters for someone. That's what I want to say. It's like, I don't know, I'm almost getting the feeling of somebody that watches too much tarot videos or healing videos or something like that, where, yeah, I don't know what I do. I can feel it. It's like someone's tuning into wrong information. Yeah. Well, I'm just reading the Divine Masculine, one of the Divine Masculine cards. Oh, fuck. And the card I'm on is strife, arguments, conflicts, and battle. Yeah, it is basic competition. That's really interesting again, because it's not like I'm not homing in on anyone in particular. Like, because even if I was, I wouldn't say, but like I genuinely am. And it's like, I'm just getting a really strong feel. So again, if that's you, you will know. Yeah, I'm just getting that feeling. It's like, it's like if somebody loves tuning into someone, and like, because that would even go for me. Like if the message wasn't particularly positive, but you'd felt like things were going quite well, like, you just got to, that's what it means. Take what resonates and leave the rest. But I'm just getting a really strong feeling that it's like somebody tuning into someone, and it's almost like they've been, yeah. I actually am. See, yeah, I'll stay quiet about it. Yeah, it is. It's like I feel like someone's been put under a bit of a spell, but it's like a spell to, like, guides. I don't know. It's like guide someone down a different route. I don't know. I want to tap out of that. It's a bit weird. I get sent stuff from another girl on the journey, and some of it is massive. Maybe that's you, right? So maybe that message is for you then. Yeah. Yeah, because there are, again, like I said, there's again, that's what I mean. I'm staying fair about this. Is that there's lots of beautiful people out there. So I mean, it's like you saw me say that to Charlotte when Charlotte said she only watches me. It's not like fucking hi Hitler down here. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think, oh, I'm the only one you watch. But actually, in a way, I was like, you know what, that's not a bad idea, because if I resonate with you, it doesn't matter that it's me. Say that it was someone else. If the messages resonate, it's not so bad, because it's like, it's not, but in a way, I did say to Charlotte, you might want to, do a bit of a, just see what you're guided to. Just, you can't compare either. It's really, again, I get what they're saying, but I'll just sort of leave it at that, because it feels like that was maybe for you then next. So they just kept saying it to me. But I feel like there's a lot of the divine masculines as well, because I am actually seeing men. Is it that it's like I feel like it's one of the women has put them, I'd say it's quite an attractive woman. I've channeled this before, like, that will pull you in. And again, I just don't even want to go deeper into that, because again, there's other attractive twin flame women out there that they are attractive and they're genuine. So again, it's all kinds of confusing, but there's that whatever you got from that, it's just about, you have to tune in for you. And it's really just about, it's just, if you don't trust yourself enough, that you're going to trust that person is right. Because again, this feels like common sense, but I'm going to say it's general. So if something's like for the collective, it might not be you. Like, I know for me, when I get guided to certain videos, I can tell instantly when it's not me, because it's like where I've been. Like, I know that I've moved through that stuff, or some of it is really, really negative. That's what I want to say. I think some of you may be getting guided things that are like incredibly negative. What's one that I'm, again, yeah, just like, it might be telling you that, like, your divine masculine is still living it up and partying and like, or really darker stuff like that, and then you could be susceptible to believing that, or change it, because I know some of you are the divine masculine. It could be telling you that, like, this is not going to happen. I don't know. It's just that, because now they're going too deep into other things. Like, I'm actually thinking of a combination. I've said this before, but like, I don't really like saying it so much because I'm just trying to think of a way to say it it's just don't hang on to every word that someone says, is what they're saying to me. Because with the best of intentions, that's more for a personal reading, actually, again. But it is collective too. But collective, I just think it's, to be honest, I'm going to be blunt here. Don't be so, don't be that's really harsh. I was going to say don't be so fucking stupid. Do you know what I mean? If it's collective, it just isn't yours. Like, don't get butthurt about it or offended, but it's not, it's more than that. Like, I feel it is about people learning, and they're still a bit, it's like, I want to say, a bit confused about what all this means. And you're very vulnerable. And if you tune into somebody that is, I know there are people that are purposely put there to not get off the path. Like, say like a divine feminine, or a fake one is sitting there, but they're kind of saying your divine feminine's really mad at you. She doesn't want to hear from you. She thinks you're a dick. I mean, they're not. Hopefully, they don't say that. But do you know what I mean? They could say things like they feel you're a this and that and blah blah blah. Be careful if that's, because what I'm saying, that's vastly different from what I'm saying. Like, not saying that at different points along when I'm doing this, that you might be able to feel my frustration or triggers or whatever. But what I'm saying is, I always manage to bring myself back to unconditional love and forgiveness. And really, to be honest, it's not hard for me to have unconditional love and forgiveness. Well, I suppose I can't be general. When it comes to my twin flame, I've always got that. I just get what this whole journey is about. But it doesn't mean I don't get pissed off and frustrated and what the fuck is all this about? And you know what I mean? But anyway, so it's a bit wordy, but yeah. Anytime I hear someone preaching and then shaming and judging them out, yeah, you have to. But it's just, it's like, right, so I do feel like I'm in detective mode right now. It's like some of the things that I've seen over the years, like, I have chatted about this before, but they're making me do it. And it was long enough ago that I could say it, right? So again, I must stress, right, if anyone has been on this journey a very long time, which is a lot of people I feel that don't talk. I know some of you that do talk have been on this journey too, but most of the people that I've helped one-to-one, that I know you've been on the journey a long time, I know because you've told me, it was me that woke you up to what this is about. So I'm talking, if someone's consciously new and they've watched a lot of channels for a long time or videos, some people could pick up on what I'm saying right now. So just keep, just fucking read the Zoom room. But I remember a scenario, like I say, it was quite a while ago now, where I saw publicly somebody claiming that they'd come into union, that they were blissfully happy, that, don't believe, all the people that say it's like this, because, this is actually how it is. And it kind of made me want to vomit because they were holding hands and that. And it was just, it wasn't real. But like, that's the point. It wasn't fucking real, right? It was a fucking illusion. And I just was totally, I wasn't confused, put it this way, I wasn't confused one bit, because I fucking knew it wasn't real. But I couldn't stop watching because I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, that is not her twin. I was like, that's not her twin flame. But right, so to come away from that, really, but what I'm trying to say is, not only was it not absolutely fucking was not the person's twin flame, and she then later, anyway, it just wasn't, and it was confirmed by her actually that it wasn't. Other big channels latched on and were celebrating the union and we're referring, and I was like, this is fucking spreading like wildfire. Do you know what I mean? I was looking at this fucking bullshit. And it was very frustrating for me, being a real one on the journey and seeing this happen. And apart from it being, it's not actually funny, because basically, when to be serious, I can't stop laughing now though, to be serious for a minute, that person was both in fact, like, that not only was the person I could see had an entity. Oh, I know why they're getting me to say this. And I prayed. Let me fucking tell you, I prayed for that woman hard, and it fucking worked. And again, I'm not just saying it was just me, because I bet there were other people like me that were like, this ain't fucking real, but that's not what I've seen on the, in the chat. It was all like, oh, congratulations. And I was like, what the fuck? And can I just say, I don't, I'm not drawn to, I'm not drawn to, like, actually really pretty much any of the people that I tuned into years ago, but it was just that I had to help. But because I'm good at clearing dark energies, but it was like, not only did the pit, like both of them had dark energies. It was some dark energy had come, and it was a lot more complicated. But anyway, the point is, it was more my issue was that other people couldn't see through it, and I'm one of the people that can see through stuff. So that is a big long-winded way of saying, but that would you be influenced by that if another big massive chat, it doesn't need to be about twin flame, it could be anything, was like buying into something? Because think how much people really want twin flame unions, don't they? So people wanted to believe it was real, even though there's reasons why you'd be like, it was going down a real kind of uber spiritual, like it's not, it doesn't always need to, like, and it was like, it's, so I'm keeping it general. This could be fucking anyone, but it's like, it was trying to make out that, like, there doesn't need to be all this insane sexual chemistry. See, the minute I fucking ever catch anyone saying that, I'm out. I'm out. Like, there is. Maybe not as intensely sexual chemistry as with some twin flame pairs, but really, that's not all the thousands of people I've helped. That's a common denominator. So that's always a biggie for me when people are claiming, like, someone else is a twin. It's no. But it just kind of shocked me, actually. Well, it didn't shock me. No, I suppose it did with what, like, that some other biggers were believing it. And then it was interesting to see people go quiet when the person themselves, shared that wasn't the twin. And and it just kind of shows you that it's like, well, you know what I mean? Like, surely they should have felt that. If they're the real deal, how did they not tune into that? Anyway, very deep, but again, it must be important because I've shared that before, but it was really strongly coming on. I'm going to be like really vigilant now to see if some kind of shit goes down with something here, because I am feeling this. It's like, again, remember, this could happen like 6 months from now, because our channel, it's so annoying, but I channel so far in the future like that. But I feel there's going to be something that's quite a big deal to do with this. Okay. Right, so this is a time of conflict and challenge, pure and simple. No matter how you look at it, confrontation and discord are on the horizon. Others don't agree with you or see your perspective, and they don't intend to cooperate with you in any way. This is for divine masculines. This time could surface in such serious ways as legal battles, divorce proceedings, and contract negotiations, or it could just be an impasse. I always want to say impasse, but it's an impasse with a spouse over a raised toilet seat. Whatever the issue, there's no immediate or easy resolution. You've attracted a worthy opponent, so prepare to go the distance. God. This is not to assume, however, that such a combative scenarios are always a bad thing. Your warrior guides are present to enlighten you about the benefits of sparring with others. Competition brings out your best and unleashes your passion and commitment to what you believe in. So there's a strong, very strong message about standing up for yourself and what you believe in. And I do truly feel that all karmic partners, romantic or otherwise, anyone in your life, is there to teach you to stand up for yourself half the time, or whatever else. But that is what comes through a lot. It develops your strength and prevents you from being victimized or manipulated by others, and it teaches you the need to respect others too, and not mindlessly impose your will on them. Your warrior guide suggests that, which is why hopefully you get that I was saying when Charlotte shared one of the times on here that she doesn't tune into anyone. It actually wasn't, that's what made me laugh. It wasn't that she doesn't tune in any other twin flame people. It was she doesn't tune in any hardly other YouTubers. I was like, Charlotte, for fuck's sake, get out there and fucking learn how to bloody fix something around the house at least. Do you know what I mean? But And that's just, it's just because I'm all about the, you know what I mean? I've fucking been glued to YouTube since it came out. But yeah, there's something about just, it's so again, it's not that, it's not gonna, you're not gonna be as extreme as what Charlotte shows. But again, I feel it's just about not overdoing it, I suppose, and really test it, practicing your intuitive muscles about when something feels right or not. It's like I can remember once I went to get a crystal. Actually, it was a massage, but I always think I call it a crystal healing because that's what I do when I do healings. I use all the obviously crystal clear visions, but it's like I've got a fiver on one public couple. That's hilarious. Yeah, it's basically, yeah, when I went to get this massage, and like you said, she uses crystals and she doesn't do it anymore, but like just because again she's a bit older and she started doing something else. But I just remember her saying to me, something about, such and such. So it was someone on YouTube, and I was like, oh yeah, I used to tune into her. I said, and then I was just like this woman is not like this. I don't know what the fuck she's channeling, but it's nothing I'm going to listen to. And she does talk about twin flames from time to time, but yeah. So basically, again, that's all I'll say on that is basically. So it's again. So I'm not going to sit here and it is just to illustrate the point that I don't care how popular someone is and how much they're popping up in my algorithm or everybody else seems to be flocking here or people recommend, because that was actually that woman I'm thinking of. She fell for the what does that mean again? Fell for the okie doke or something. I just heard that. Is that not like people use that term, don't they? But it's like she fell for that thing that I just spoke about. And that just confirmed to me even more. I was like, I knew she wasn't well, I'm not going to say not well, yeah, I'm going to reserve judgment there, but you know what I'm saying? Might be a twin flame, but she's not doing something to be getting led, to be getting led astray like that. But again, I happen to feel it is because my purpose is to do what I'm doing right now. Fuck, wait a minute. Oh no. This is hilarious. I'm just thinking of some fucking personal readings I've had over the past few years, and I'm sure that this is what has came in for me before, is that's what I'm here to do, is to call out the bullshit. But it's a bit uncomfortable because I feel like I've been tricked into it. But it's fine, because there's only, at the most, there's been 5 people watching, and then, yeah, some of you will watch on the replay. But I think it's just, if I can get out to however many people, I'm not going to say 581, because, that's not, but it's just about being discerning. Because me and that woman both was like, I was listening to something and I felt kind of sick, and and the information just felt off. And then I've also seen lots of people, not just twin flames, I've seen people in the, apparent spiritual healers and that really not having their third eye open to the dark agenda in the world. And very much the opposite, like celebrating the royal family and shit like that. And I'm like, right, what the actual fuck? I'm out. Do you know what I mean? That's what makes me be out, because I'm like, some of the stuff might resonate for others, but if you're no fucking, that, and again, I must stress that doesn't mean somebody's. I wouldn't not listen to someone, because I equally know people that don't get that yet, and I would just hold them in unconditional love. And but you know what I'm saying? That's a bit like, it's a bit like when I say it's quite difficult for me to relate to some people sometimes when they're not getting something, because it's like, where do you even begin to start to explain that? And you could actually, I could see how this is about lots of things in the world, but I could even see how that applies to the twin flame journey too. Yeah, it's like, how do I even begin to explain this to my twin flame? But yeah, I just feel like you're not going to need to. Let them do their homework and work it out for themselves, and then you can compare notes. That's hilarious. Right, okay, if they want to. You know what I mean? Right. And they will. Whatever the issue, there's no immediate or easy resolution. You've attracted, I've just read that bit. This is not to assume, however, right, sorry, I just got pulled, right. It's because I need to refresh my phone. If this is fucking hitting that part of my chart, I'm going to be gobsmacked. It fucking is, guys. It fucking is. I knew it. Can I just explain how real astrology is for a minute, right? And maybe I can wow you with this enough that you want to book a session and we can look at your chart, right? And even if you've had one before, you can book, you know, another session. Like I said, you could book, I suppose I should call it that, a refresher session. But what I mean is, it wouldn't be a refresher session because I wouldn't go through your whole chart again. It'd be tough to book that actual session. But if you book one of the 144 sessions, I can look at your transits and stuff and see what's going on right now, you know. But the moon is on my midheaven, and that is about the public, and it's my work and it's my calling and it's my duty really to speak and to be a public speaker like what I am, but also to shed light, because Leo is coming from the heart, which I do with everything I do, and to shed light on the darkness as well. You know, that is my, because it's not easy. And again, you can see it's not easy because it's like I'm kind of like, I really actually, and they're pulling in the Leo symbol on my astrology tablecloth there. I don't really like it because it's like, I just think, well, you know, you just guide other people to see that. But, you know, you've got your own unique gift for a reason, and that is my unique gift. So it is, you know, like Superman says, with great power comes great responsibility. But it's just hilarious because I've, like, again, like what I said about me channeling this for a year and a half and channeling something way in advance, even when you could tell I thought it was about to fucking happen, it certainly fucking wasn't. But it's all good, it's fine. I'm still in good humor some days. Yeah, I've just been tricked into saying all of that. So I really do hope that, like, obviously I feel it's helped you a bit there next, but I hope it's helped other people, because I was tricked into that. They just started talking about it and I'm saying it. But it's not a coincidence. That must be really important. That's going to be, mark my words, you heard it here first. That's going to be a big deal. Whatever it was I was just picking up on. Somebody's going to fall from a place of apparent authority or having some kind of, I don't know, just, you know, whether it's somebody that gets a lot of views or something like that, or a lot of accolade, it's like somebody's going to fall, or they're going to do something similar to what I said, that like when I saw, because the thing about that is quite a big deal. Like if you've been, I do, sorry, I sound like a bitch, but fucking let's own it. Like I do sound like a bitch when I'm saying, but it's true. Like if you were duped that big, and you've actually sort of like linked in to somebody else that was claiming, which is a big thing in these times we live in, to claim that you are in physical union. But then it turns out you're not, and that wasn't your it's kind of what, you know what I mean? I'm not like, I don't even want to laugh too, because I feel that's happened to some really lovely, genuine folk too, but I'm kind of talking about folk that are purposely misleading you too, though. Like, that's what it feels like. It feels like someone that's actually been put there by a dark agenda to knock people off the path, and then it gets even more confusing, because there's some people that are a twin flame, but they've tuned in to so many other folk saying fucked up shit that they're a bit convoluted. But that's why I think we hope, like, again, it's like you have got to work hard to be a clear channel, and I'm proud that I am. But a clear channel isn't a perfect channel. Like I'm a tired channel tonight. But again, I actually feel it's kind of better, but it's I don't know. We'll see when it happens. But all I know is astrology doesn't lie. And I did say the other night, I'm going to be saying something really important when it reaches my midheaven, and I am. And I didn't know what it was going to be, but I feel it's just that. We'll see. Right. Right. Where did I read it here? Did I read that? Your warrior guide suggests that when you do battle with others, it's best to fight fairly and learn from the conflict. Don't compete just to let off steam. Fight for progress and higher understanding for all concerned, rather than just being difficult to get your own way. Hidden within the drama of the battle and competition are the seeds of true understanding and compassion. The best spiritual warriors always strive for a win-win outcome. And that really reminds me when I say, and people that don't know me very well, I wouldn't blame people if they don't believe me. But if you know me well, which a lot of you do, you'll know that I genuinely am. It reminds me when you said, like, I've got a big heart next. Like, you know, I mean, I felt it, because it's true. I have got a very big heart. You know, I mean, bigger than most. Not any of yous, of course, because yous have all got a big heart too. But it's like, I do always have love for karmics as well. Of any, I don't like calling them karmics. You'll notice that's what it feels uncomfortable, but because I always do feel anybody making somebody's life that difficult, they're in pain. And when someone's in pain, I want to help them. But it's just that's got me in trouble in the past, because I've kept people in my life too long because they're in pain trying to help them, and they've dragged me under and drowned me. Well, obviously didn't literally drown me, I wouldn't be here, but you know what I mean? So I've had to learn to, you know, well, basically in my personal life, to step back from anyone that is consistently looped in toxic cycles that would pull me into being in a toxic cycle with them, or you know what I mean? And it's not easy. But yeah, like I said, whenever I do sessions with people, we do, as a lot of you will know, we send love. And it can also be reluctant from the client when I'm like, can we send love to, and they're no, they're being a fucking dick to me, or they're, you know, they're making my life hell. But it's like, yeah, but when we're sending it to that soul part of them, you know, it's like the other egoic part that isn't really getting it. And that's very, like, never mind karmic, that's like your twin flame too. Like when your twin flame is coming from ego and pride, and well, we can all be a dick, you know. Your twin flame can be a dick to you, to other people. You can be a dick to people, to other people. You know what I mean? Let's go. Nathan, where are you when we need you? I'm sure you and your twin can be a dick to each other. Do you know what I'm saying? And change the words if you want, but that's just what makes sense to me. And that's why the forgiveness energy and the codes are coming in, because it's like, but you've just got to be careful with that, because with compassionate energy, you can't be so compassionate and forgiving all the time that you're just letting people away with everything all the time. That's why boundaries are important. Because that's also why when I'm channeling about these people that I've seen at times, well, like you said, one of the cases was, it was actually, they were misleading people. They were misleading, and they later actually admitted they were misleading. So that's why I have a big issue with that. We'll just leave it at that. But there's other people that mislead people, and they haven't really meant to. Oh god, I need to tap out of that. That's too confusing. But I have compassion for that too, because it's like if I think if where people are always meaning to help. But right, just stick with one thing though, because it's about balance. It's about, you know, you've got to stand up for yourself and you've got to fight for what's right. But then don't go so far to that kind of side of the dark side, I suppose, you know, that you can't find forgiveness for the situation, especially if I feel like I'm talking to someone that it's like you've won or something, or you're going to win. I don't know who that's for. So then don't hold on to the anger and the resentment and the pain. Like, let it go. Again, it reminds me when I channeled not that long ago. It's like, it's not that easy for, like, it isn't. That's how long's a piece of string. Some people find it easier than others, but just keep working with it, because otherwise you block your heart off to the good coming into your life. Right, okay. So your warrior guide suggests that you embrace the battles at hand to find your strength and reach your growth. Fight the good fight with your adversaries, but pray for divine justice to prevail. Oh, that's what I kept saying quite a lot. Like, not on this one, but in all the other videos. Not just for your personal version of justice. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like, when you get what you want, don't drag it out, you know, like, don't try to get revenge and all this kind of shit. Like, yeah, I feel like I don't want to insult people's intelligence, you know, but some people do need to hear that. Their message: fight fair, but concede when you're in the wrong. I like that. But as an Aries, I do like that because, like you say, Aries energy, it is very much like when we're right, we're fucking right. You know what I mean? But when we're wrong, we're wrong. Like when I'm wrong, I admit it. But what's happened to me, like consistently over my whole life, is I get manipulated into apologizing to someone when actually they were in the wrong. And then I realize it after. And it's just because I am so, like, because I carry that energy of Mary Magdalene and, like said, on that deck, it's got forgiveness. Like, I am very forgiven. But I'm proud because, like I said, I've got really fucking tight boundaries too. So it's like, I'm forgiven, but folk aren't getting fucking back in, most of them. Do you know what I mean? Like, I forgive you, but stay the hell away. Do you know what I mean? Oh, interesting. Right. Right, my energy over the solstice felt very muddy. I feel back to me after the healing activation. Good, yes, that's what it was for. And like I said, there wasn't a whole load of people that there was. Like I said, there was a handful, like what I felt. And remember, I've even said I wouldn't be surprised. At one point, it was just one person, and I thought, is it just going to be that one person? And then a few other people had said, and then you'd said you were joining too. So, but yeah, whoever was meant to be there got it. So. What, you're on the phone while you're watching? That's hilarious. I'm about to hop on the phone with my twin. We'll enjoy that conversation. I've had many live sessions with people where we're on the session and their twin texts or calls. True story. I've said that before though, but it's true. Hope it's good. Sent up a all right, you're talking to him. Right, okay. So let's read this card now because they've kept me here as long as I needed to. Oh my God, what did I say as well? I said I was going to stay until Love Island and it's 2 minutes to Love Island. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, there's no such thing as coincidence. They literally speak it from my mouth, what I'm going to do, even when I logically are like, I don't want to be here in that long. But it's because I needed to say whatever's been said. And I actually kind of feel like, well, I don't know, I might, but I feel like this is one I might not watch back. I can't be arsed. I was a people pleaser with no boundaries until I met you. That's like, you have said shit tonight that I want a screenshot. I'm not gonna lie, I'm just saying it. I'm just like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna, you've said several things today that I want to share. But and then the thing is, if I don't screenshot it, which I didn't, so I remember to do that, I then can't find it. But I love that. I was a people pleaser, no boundaries until I met you. There's a lot of people out there that should be saying that. I'm joking. They do say that to me. Or yeah, that's how you'll be talking after you do some one-to-ones or definitely therapy with me, guys. So right, what light worker oracle do we need? And it's because I was a people pleaser with no boundaries. That's how. And now I'm not a people pleaser, and I certainly have got boundaries, but it can still be difficult for me to be assertive and assert my boundaries. That's what I would say on that. But I still do it. So if I can do it, you can do it. If I can teach people to do it and I still find it difficult, only you can do it. Right. Master Hilarion, and Archangel Raphael. Oh, my alarm going off, telling me to write out my weekly meals. It's one of those alarms where I'm like, yeah, I'll do it when I get a minute, and I don't do it. I did do it last week though. I've just been basically I'm fucking juicing. Except I did have a fucking ice cream with my niece today. I was so annoyed. I'm like literally a few days away from, it would have been 2 weeks. I was doing, I don't like calling it a diet, but it is a diet of sort of like eating healthier. But I mean, it's boiling every day. This is why I wasn't going to give in to having an ice cream when it's hot, because it's hot every day. You can't do that. Oh, it's hot, we'll get an ice cream. But today I just really fancied it. So I just let my rebel guide take over. Do you know that? Fuck it. I didn't say fuck it. That's what I said in my head. Do you know what I mean? It's quite nice. But and then I had salad for my cheese. So balance, guys. Balance. Right, 28. Hold your center. Hold. Reminds me of Braveheart. Hold. 28. This isn't good that I'm channeling Braveheart, guys. Right, I just opened the book up at the right bit. Right, so part of your divine purpose is to develop the power of your mind and use it for healing purposes. If you change your mind, oh, I'm not singing the rest of that. Oh, hell. Aye, that's very Twinflame, isn't it? I'm so cute. That's hilarious. That's for one to use. That's funny. I've said before I can't stand Mamma Mia, but I caught it the other week there. I like the song. I do like the songs, but I don't like the film. If you change your mind, I can't stop. Right, I need to stop reading that bit. You can change your world. Guidance and healing inspiration can come to you daily, helping improve your own life and the lives of others. Healing and opening the mind to new realities and possibilities are the gifts of Ascended Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael. The mind of a light worker needs spiritual light. Again, you may consider yourself a light worker. I am also a light worker, but I resonate stronger with light warrior because I am a fucking warrior. I'm an Aries at the highest degrees with a Scorpio rising conjunct Pluto. This is what allows me to be able to call out the dark and even more confusing, the false light, which is also dark if you really, but again, it can be all kinds of confusing because like I've said, some people purposely mislead and others mislead and they didn't mean to. And I feel there's more compassion for that. You know what I mean? But it's just what it means is you got to be careful. You know what I mean? You got to be careful. Everyone got to be careful. Right. So, and it really is about that light workers, I've said this before, but light workers are always going on about the light and they don't really touch on, well, I don't know, true light workers would touch on the, they'll have awareness of it and they will talk about dark energies and stuff, but it won't be their, their niche. Or isn't it annoying when someone calls it niche? Like that might be the right way to pronounce it, but I always find it really annoying. It's like niche, like whatever. But and I think that's beautiful. We do need light workers. That it really is just, that's not, there's maybe too, I'm not going to say too sensitive because I'm one of the most sensitive people you can meet, but look, I go pretty dark because that's what I'm guided to shed light on it. I'm very much about the balance, I mean? I have to shed light on bringing the light to the planet, but it's like I have to shed light on the dark when I'm guided as well, and how important it is to face your shadow and integrate your shadow and everything. But what is false light is if there's absolutely no allowance of honouring pain and the darkness, that I call that, it's like toxic positivity too. Like I can think of scenarios in my life where you're genuinely going through something really difficult or you've been treated badly and someone's like, oh, cheer up, or I don't know, you know what I mean, all these unhelpful things. And bear in mind, like some people can really mean well, and it's conditioning, and that's what this is. So it's like, it's weird. It's like the way, again, this means something because I can usually translate very well what they're saying to me, but it's like I think it's just because I'm so tired as well. But because remember, everything is part of this, so that is true that I'm tired, but it's like it's just really something to do about compassion, that and not getting on your high horse. I feel it's about that too. Like I feel I'm really channeling here about, there's some that really just get it, and it's not that others don't get it, it's just have a harder time finding the compassion for bad people, is what I want to say. It actually reminds me of in my counselling training, like, you get asked questions like that, like, would you be able to be a counsellor for this scenario, would you be able to be, I wouldn't actually say but I usually do, but I just can't remember saying words like that. But if like, would you be able to, like, could you do that? Because it's all about, with counselling, that's what interests me. It's very similar to my shamanic work. It is all about it. They call it unconditional positive regard in counselling, but in shamanic work, it's unconditional love that I heal with. And to me, they're one and the same. And, so it does mean that there are scenarios that I could, provided, if we're talking about in a jail or something, provided I was safe, not silencing the lambs style. I've only seen bits of that, but do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's, because a lot of, oh God, now we're going down a really weird route, but it's like, because a lot of things that people deem mental illness and that, it's like, that's what shamans are here to help with, is that basically a lot of disorders or real extreme mental illnesses, or it's just somebody's completely all out of whack and out of balance. And if given the time and the space I must stress, like, if we're talking about serious psychological stuff and schizophrenia and all of that, again, but I even, to be honest, I really do feel that with that too, but you have to be very serious about it, that, you have to get, if this is, whether this is people or it's you have to get the support. But it's, yeah, a lot of people that have been slammed with apparent things that can't be healed, or you're stuck with that, and that, it's just not true. Like, it is, there's an imbalance with your energy. And I just think people really need to hear that. Because I've helped loads of people over the years with things like bipolar, like that's a good example. Like, because, that can be so up and down, which, if you think about it, I feel it's very similar to what people with ADHD can experience, which isn't unusual, because, I don't know, this is interesting, but it's all very trauma related. Like, it all comes under an umbrella. Do you know what I mean? A lot of stuff all comes under an umbrella and kind of overlap into the other. And it's like, and like what I've said before, like, like, a lot of, like, medication can really suppress, it might suppress symptoms of certain things, but it can also suppress your personality. And, people report losing all creativity and everything and that, which I find really sad. And so, I don't know who this is for, but I'm just saying it. And yeah, a lot of chemical imbalances, I'm not saying could be cured, but, it can make your life easier. Like, for me, I cure myself of my, not cure, but I heal myself of my own difficulties with the ADHD, dyslexia, and dyspraxia, and dyscalculia, if we want to go there. There's probably something else, whatever because dyscalculia is the one with the, what's dysgraphia again? I'm sure that's something, but it's all the stuff with the numbers and that. No, obviously not the guided, the numbers in the way that I do my numbers, but like maths. Although, can I just say, when I was picking stuff up around the supermarket yesterday, and I was roughly counting up in my head, I got to the till, and it was only 7p over the 20 quid that I felt it was. And it was like, I don't know though, is that because I'm psychic, or is that, but me and my mum both do that. That is a gift. But yeah, there must be somebody listening that's going to speak to, that it's there's other routes to heal stuff like that, and a lot of it can come down to, like, for instance, a lot of, like, because what I'm talking about, it feels like things to do with, like, split personality stuff, and that can be a lot of people's Gemini placements. Like, I'm being serious. Like, that's why I always hashtag my stuff astrotherapy, because I'm a therapist, and I don't like referring to myself as an astrologer, but I am an astrologer. Do you know what I mean? It's in my own way. It's about understanding yourself better, which, again, it always comes back down to that. Yeah, somebody needs an astrotherapy session with me. Somebody literally needs me. I don't know. There's something I can just, they're not making me stop talking. So I need to read this card and go, though, because it's dark and I'm cold. I'm joking. It's dark and I'm boiling and I want to get in the bath and I want to watch Love Island. It's all landing with me as I've been struggling a bit with people brushing over some toxic behaviour. Oh, my alarm's going off again. Saying no, they wouldn't do that. What, you mean like you've addressed somebody's toxic behaviour and they're not acknowledging that they're doing it, or like somebody's saying that somebody else wouldn't do it? It's like, reminds you, like, forgive them, they know not what they do, or something. Right, I'll read this and I'll keep an eye out for what you're saying. Yeah, so again, I really just kind of want to, what else do I want to say about that? I say it a lot, but it must be needed to be heard by someone. It's basically, do you know, it's basically because it's like when Mars was in Gemini, I was channeling all of this because that was really fucking with your mind. Do you know what I mean? And we've just had a whole month of being in Gemini season, which is all about the mind. So I feel maybe a lot of people out there, well, not maybe, a lot of the collective, but this is going to specifically speak to some people, that your mind may have really went through the rigor, right? Like the last 4 weeks, you know, like when it had already been in a dark place on a dark night of the soul. And now, I mean, again, this is a bit like the disciplined responsibility bit that I spoke about. Now your feelings, it's like, I mean, again, why did God design astrology like this? But it's like your mind's just went through the ringer and now your feelings and your heart are going to go through it. You know what I'm saying? Which is why that would make sense when I was given the example of you're spending too much time in your heart chakra when you need to be balancing your root chakra. Because if your heart's already going to get homed in on with the Cancer feelings, and also Mars and Leo being, Mars and Venus being in Leo, because that is the heart in a different kind of way. Because it's like I see like Cancer is the feeling, so I link it to the heart because, well, it's your feelings, but Leo is the heart because it's in that kind of passionate, playful way, like follow your heart. But actually, like that's today's energy: Cancer, Sun, Leo, Moon. Follow your heart. Follow your feel. See where your feelings lead you. Follow your heart. And then when it gets into Virgo tomorrow, it's like, well, I always call Virgo, it's like tidy up after the party. Because Leo's like the party. Because that's August, you know, it's like here with Alex, it's like the festival. It's like, but you know, it's just party time. And then Virgo season is like, right, tidy up after the party. Get clean eating and all that kind of stuff. And it's about healing and health, and like my sun in Aries is in the house of Virgo. So it's why I've got a very playful, fun, fiery, passionate side, but I am also very cautious, all about healing, obviously, and healing people and healing myself, and very vigilant. And anyway, right, okay, so no, when I've talked about something that's happened and they don't believe that things would be, and oh God, that's the worst, that they don't believe that things would be intentionally done. I know it's not an understanding of narcissistic behavior. Yeah, it is. And you know what, right? That's actually, thanks for sharing that, because that actually really affirms what I was channeling earlier. That, and I think you were here when I was saying that. You might have came back after though, but it's like when I was, because I was having trouble trying to get the words out. I knew what they were saying, but I was having trouble translating it. It's like, you know, it's annoying. It almost, again, I kind of really do want to say the older generation, you know, it's like people feel like they're doing the right thing because they don't want you to be sad or they don't want you to be angry. So they say things to like sort of hoping that that'll get you out of it, which we all know that doesn't help. And so that's where it's like, you know, it's keeping in balance, that it's like having compassion for when people around you do that, because they're not meaning to be horrible. It's just that's what they've had done to them. And they actually, that really does fit what I was trying to there. Like they're meaning to help you, but so it's kind of one of the me things where you're like, do you know what, Oh, actually, it's kind of, yeah, it really fits with what I always say about counselling and therapy. It's one of them things where when you've got that self-esteem and self-acceptance and empowerment, you can actually silently say to yourself, do you know what? I know that they're wrong, but and it's not in the way of suppressing your truth, like what Nathan said earlier. It's in a way of, I know that I'm actually right on this, and I know that they don't really fully get it, but not in a, not in an ignorant kind of, not in a dickhead way, but I know that they kind of, for whatever reason, either don't see it or do see it but don't want to see it. And so I know for me, and that's important. I think in that case, it's like, I know that this is wrong, so I don't need that person's validation that how I'm being treated is wrong. You know what I mean? Something like that. But it's all very hazy, because if you do that too much, then it's like what I like to say, you're gaslighting yourself. You don't want to be telling yourself you're overreacting, and that's a big no-no. Because in these times we live in, you won't be overreacting at all. And you've probably got people around you that will say you're too sensitive or you're overreacting or whatever. And it's probably just because you put up a boundary and they don't even fucking know the meaning of the word. Do you know what I mean? Life's complicated, isn't it? My heart led me to you. Oh, I love that. I love that. My heart led me to YouTube to bare my soul. that's that'll be on my gravestone, Bob. I don't know, I haven't thought about it. Fuck's sake, this is a bit morbid. See, I told you it could go that way in cancer season. Oh, that's hilarious. Right, okay. Did I finish reading this card? Right. Where did I get to? The hunger for wisdom can push you to seek knowledge, and this can be a healthy impulse. However, if you love knowledge so much that you keep seeking without taking time to digest, fuck, this always happens, but this feels exactly like when I said that about the root chakra, staying in the higher chakras, but not grounding it. God. And that's also twin flames as well. You get so kind of caught up in the energy, but you've got to make it real at some point. However, if you love, I just read that bit. However, if you love knowledge so much that you keep seeking without taking time to digest, integrate and apply what you've learned, that would be in the root chakra, you may end up confused or mentally exhausted. Oh my God, I just said that. Wow. That's crazy. That's the Gemini energy that we've just come out of. So that could have been, oh fuck, never mind, just come out of it. Mercury, the planet of communication, is still in Gemini. I forgot that. And Mercury rules Gemini. So you see, that could be putting people's minds into overdrive, and you could be really overthinking what you're going to say. And yeah, I'm feeling mental exhaustion in a lot of people, if you're forgetful, stressed, mentally fatigued, or plodding when you're usually bright, plodding, you need some mental time out. Okay, yeah, and that is what cancer season is. Yeah, go watch some Love Island. Yes, I'm about to in a minute. I'm going to have to dash now to deal with the minis. Love you. I love you too. And that I'm glad that all lands as well. Right. So the mind rarely rests except through meditation, and even then rest is not guaranteed. Resting the mind can be a tricky thing for intellectually orientated or highly creative people, which I feel that's just a polite way of saying people with ADHD or whatever else resonates. But do you mean I get that as well? Which is why that's fitting that you just said go watch some Love Island. I will. Learning to switch off mentally will help you remember and apply what you're learning so that you grow not only in knowledge but also in wisdom. You've been absorbing a lot of new information. This is what I said. I feel a lot. It's on page 8 to 8 as well. That feels significant. 8 is abundance, power. Yeah, that's what comes to me just now. Infinity sign. But this is what I said. I feel people have been absorbing quite a lot of information. It's like mentally exhausted. You may feel you've so many tasks to do that you don't know where to start, or that if you stop to rest, you will never get through it all. It kind of reminds me, and I've had people over the years being like, what do I do first? Like, I want to learn about this, I want to learn about that, or I want to heal my crown chakra, I want to open my third eye. And it's like, well, just start where you're guided. Like, pick one and work there. You know what I mean? That's what everyone else does whenever they started. Just, and you don't need to do it all in a day kind of thing. And it never stops anyway. So, which is why I always say like that, like twin flames are healing their cell before they go to their twin flame. Like people need to hear this because it never stops. It's always just about, if you're on that path and you're making an effort, you'll be guided back to your twin when it's time anyway. So just chill out, man. This is causing you mental stress, which is diminishing your productivity. It's time to slow down and cleanse your mind with the assistance of Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael. Sit down without distraction of a telephone, computer, mobile phone, music, television, radio. Oh, fuck, this feels like it's going into a... Oh, no, it's just I was like, I can't believe we're doing a meditation right now. The whole fucking thing's like a meditation. Take a few moments of silence. Say the invocation below and then imagine, intend, visualize, or feel a fresh, pale green energy wash through you. And of course, so I will, as I'm saying this, oh yeah, in a dream the other night, I got flashes of info downloading into my human. Yes, it's going to happen, and it definitely will have happened to those of you that were a part of that healing last time. And actually, anybody that tunes into my videos ever, it's going to happen, and it's just going to happen anyway. You know what I mean? If you're open at this time on the planet. And that's just for the people that don't understand what that means. Shall feel a peaceful sense of, where did I get to? When you let go of this, what did I read? Oh yeah, focus on this for a second or two, then just relax and enjoy the mental cleansing. So yeah, really do visualize a wash. So I'm visualizing that for us as well. A wave of green healing light washing over your mind. It's a little bit like the thing I say, but I'm not going to go into just wave. I keep going to say wash, I say wave. Yeah, but a wave. Maybe some people need to imagine a wave crashing, you know, in a nice way, not in an uncomfortable way, but something washing over you, a green healing cleansing light. And you'll recognize you've had sufficient mental rest because you shall feel a peaceful sense of vibrancy and inspiration. And that's very much like when, yeah, people have felt the healing, you know, they just feel, it's like what you said earlier, people just kind of report just feeling a sense of peace wash over them. When you let go in this way, switching off and taking a step back, new approaches and ideas come to your mind. So work according to your own creative rhythms. You may find you work best in short, productive bursts, punctuated by mental rest. If this is how you need to live for a time, honour that. Be kind to your mind. Oh, wow. So I was saying that before I got to it. It can help you accomplish your divine journey. This oracle also comes with a message for you. If you're interested in the healing that involves the mind, whether that be this is all the stuff I've been talking about tonight, whether this be psychology, psychotherapy, been talking about it, cognitive behavioural therapy, I don't really care for that, but again, some of you might. Hypnosis, NLP, these are all the things that I do. Philosophy, or a course of study, you're encouraged to explore it. That's very Gemini. If you feel inspired to work with your belief systems through affirmations or other techniques for mental reprogramming, which you should all be doing, you're all doing it if you're hanging around here, it's what I encourage, such as guided relaxations and meditations. Well, that's what I do here. You're encouraged in this too. Your mind is developed and powerful, and you will work well with such techniques, right? Okay, so let's read this and I'm going to go. So listen to these words. I call upon the healing of grace of Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael, who love me unconditionally. May my mind now gain rest, clearing and refreshment. So I'm asking, again, this is always a big prayer circle when I'm doing this. So I'm praying that the people that, well, everyone, I'm praying for, yes, going now. I pray that for all of us that we gain the rest, clearing and refreshment that we all need. Thank you. May I be assisted through unconditional love for mental healing and the development of my mind in service to my spiritual life purpose. Please help me let go mentally to allow for positive healing changes to happen. I ask for the grace I need to access all helpful knowledge, understanding, wisdom necessary for me to fulfill my divine purpose. May my mind become peaceful, clear, and refreshed. May all beings be free from mental anguish through the grace and unconditional love of the divine. Through my own free will, so be it. Oh my God. And I was about to say that feels extra magical with that Rosalind Chapel energy still being very much in my aura and probably will be forevermore now because I visited on that day. But the next card is literally the pink rose of Lady Nada. So that's interesting. You're in the midst of a heart healing, a healing of the fears and anxieties that have held you back from enjoying your full magnificence. Oh my God, and that is what the healing was. That is literally what I've said at the start. That I felt I was lifting what the blocks that were holding people back from where they need to be, basically. Lady Nada is here with all her gentle power, washing you in soft pink light. All anger, fear, sadness, bitterness, disappointment, and hurt are soothed and loved into peace. She brings you a sign of your future blossoming into deeper love. We're going to read this because it feels connected to the rose energy. I gratefully receive the rose light, the blessing of Lady Nada. My eyes are like, oh my God, the blessing of Lady Nada and unconditional love. My heart softens and opens. The pink light of a rose blessing fills me with a sweet perfume. I let go. I feel safe and held. I know that I am loved always. I'm grateful now and always for love's protection. I'm like going like this, I'm feeling it. Intervention, guiding hand, and tender grace in my life in all ways. May I know myself to be worthy of love and love myself truly so that I can truly and freely give love to others, to the world. May all beings truly know love through my own free will, so be it. And that's the perfect place to end it, because that is how I can give unconditional love to use. Let's face it, some folk I don't fucking know. Like, I have no idea who you are. Do you know what I mean? That's what I find hilarious about YouTube in particular. You can... And I know this, I'm not just saying this, I'm not feeling into it. Like, people say to me, it feels like a best friend just like talking to me. And that's where it's like, I know. And I've been told this for years. And it's actually a key part of my unique astrology is that kind of, yeah, people feel like that towards me. You know, if you like me, the people that hate me are not going to feel that. But again, I do feel I've turned a few haters into people being like, oh, do you know what, actually? Shit, that's really just helped me heal my pain and frustration and anger, but I do like her. And you're welcome. But again, it's like when you have unconditional love for yourself, which isn't the same as being up yourself or conceited or big-headed or that, because most people that are like that actually don't love themselves. It's an act, really. If you really think about it and break it down with most people. True confidence comes from unconditionally loving yourself, whether you're all dolled up to the nines or sitting in your jammies like I often do, or sitting in my glasses. Like, I don't feel at my best in my glasses, but I also don't mind because I love myself unconditionally, and therefore it's not really about how I look. It's about getting the message out, and definitely when it's hitting my midheaven. But my work here is done, and I hope that you felt the healing and the relaxation. And I actually wanted to ask Nathan, did you fall asleep the other night on Tuesday when I was doing the message? Because you were talking and then you weren't. But he's on a twin flame phone call, so we'll leave him to it. Or he's fallen asleep, maybe both. But yes, I'm going to love you and leave you here. So yeah, this will probably be the last reminder I give you, unless I'm guided to do it again. If you want to be a part of the healing that I did last night, and that's right, you did hear me, I've already done it. Time is an illusion, and as this year goes on, and definitely in the next couple of years, you will begin to understand that even more, if you don't already understand it, which lots of you do. Yeah, just put the donation in, and yes, that wave of calm will wash over you. And just put solstice in the notes, and it doesn't matter, you know, someone had said, Lexi had said, oh shit, I forgot to put so, but I just knew. I knew. So, and also, like I said, the guides know. I just trust, right? Love yous and good night. This is the bit where I try to work out, turn it off. It's here. Yeah, I'll be back on Tuesday, all being well. See you later.